Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Let your man go, huh?
Drop it, I don't want to talk about it.
Drop it, hell. I want to hear about this, homie.
I said forget about it, cuz.
I'm gonna make. Oh, fucking hell. Let's see if we can make this work. It's gonna be one of those nights. You're listening to B2P Radio. Here we go. Oh, really? Seriously? Oh, no! What? Oh, no! Shit. Do we not have audio at all? Hello? Oh, no! We screwed it up! What's up, y'all? Welcome to this week's B2P technical glitch. Really? What the fuck? What up? You got us? You guys hearing us out there? I hear myself. Why wouldn't it work? No audio on the review. Ah, for the love of God. Your audio's not coming in? Hold on. Wow, really? Is it a complete crash? Complete fail? Let's see. What happened? Nothing from Greg either. Hi! It is one of those nights, guys. How the hell you doing now? While we figure this out, what the hell did happen? Which means none of the. So I knew I should have restarted. I knew it. I think OBS crashed. Is what happened. Let me see if I can figure this out. What the hell? Say something, Greg. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Oh, this sucks. So why does it not work? Let's start the whole show over. It's on the right shit, bro. I hear him. Say something again to me. Oh, for the love of God. Yeah, no Greg. No, nothing. I hear him. That's what's crazy. I can hear myself in the chat here. Hold on a second. All right, that's cool. We'll fix it. All right, let's just You know, fucking... We got this, don't worry. Alright, try again, Greg.
Hello?
How about now? You got it, Greg?
Hello? I think so.
That was a fucking cold start, if I ever seen one. I know we're gonna give Greg some paint for his face, and he's just gonna mime the whole fucking show. Did you hear the audio, Greg, from the thing coming through Zoom?
Yeah, I heard it coming through.
What the fuck, bro? That's so weird. All right, we're gonna try again. All right, so pretend that we did.
Actually, no. Now that I think of it, no, there was no audio at all.
All right, hold on. Can you hear it now?
I could do a fucking split ass.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do a fucking split ass. Woohoo! We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Okay, pretend we. All right, here we go. Rolling Thundercats.
Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.
Let your man go, huh?
Drop it, I don't want to talk about it.
Drop it, hell. I want to hear about this, homie.
So forget about it, cuz.
This is great. There we go. It's so true tonight.
Oh my god, I just ran in.
Okay, one more time. You're listening to B2P Radio.
Stay on target.
A little remix.
I could do a fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass. About a million times. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll, then that is split ass. Fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll. I mean, pop it. You roll.
I don't buy into
and then
whatever
you go
fucking
in
bullshit you're saying.
to the shit. Power loop, black, power loop, then, power loop, black, power loop, then. I could do a fucking split ass. Roll, then that is split ass. Fucking split ass. I could do a fucking split ass. You pop out, and then roll. I mean, pop it.
That's pretty much the only trick that I know.
You guys are just rolling in, which is fine. I'm just pointing out that at least my understanding of the definition, chat chime in, is that you're flying towards it. You roll,
I don't buy
Intro
then
Wednesday.
you go in to the shit.
Oh, Jesus.
You can't make me. Honestly, when you pop out of any kind of... When you pop out,
flying towards it, and then you go and punch up, roll towards it, pop it, flying towards it, yo, flying towards it, and then you go and punch up, roll towards it, flying towards it.
Have you ever seen
towards
ducks
it.
cry? That's kind of like watching Risco. Am I right?
Ding, prize again.
All right. Oh, we'll come back to that later. What up, y'all? I might have been Zoom. What up? What up? How about that for a false start? Oh, remember, next time I'm just gonna restart it. So I started up the computer tonight. My headset interface was not being detected by the computer, and I got all the way into hanging out with Greg and realized there was a problem. Thought I'd fixed it. Obviously not. Here we are. Hi, what's going on? What are you guys doing this week? We're over here breaking stuff like normal. Still slaps in 23. Yeah, you know that.
It's the best fucking power loop tutorial and split ass tutorial in the fucking
in the game.
Game, man.
Oh Lord. Well, dude, you know, and part of this whole catastrophe was me trying to download it, like, literally while we were rolling the last intro. I was like, I got enough time. I can do it, bro. Because I didn't have a local copy. I had, it's on my other computer. And I was like, because Greg's like, I don't know if I've ever seen the video that goes with that.
So, no, I was thinking an actual, like, flight video, but, like, take like cutouts of, like, power loops and split S's and just, like, link them up to the words.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Well, we were talking about VJing and looping and stuff, and I was talking about some of the stuff I'd done, and then talking about how the way Risco approaches it, and just it would be fun to do some things at some point live with that, just for the hell of it. And or I wanted to start doing some things, like I was playing around with some, you know, I've been playing around. Chris Teal got me on AI, and so I've been playing around with some of his stuff that he's made, and then have some ideas of my own to incorporate some weird things. But I want to do some things where I basically end up cutting everything back into loops and throw it all in like VDMX or Resolume, and then basically remix what the feedback I get, then take all of that, throw it in Resolve, and then render it out as a full HDR video, which I think would be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty interesting. First you pop up. That's the only trick I know. Let's go over every excruciating detail of the split S. I mean, you could do a split J.
It's a time and place for a split J.
There is a time and place for a split J.
It's a great racing maneuver.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't even know, like, what the hell's Minchandy? Like, split fucking pretzel? I don't even know what to call it.
I don't know. Like, when you have to do, like, the corkscrews, like, then they have, like, 3 or 4 gates lined up, like, side by side, and you have to go, like, through them.
The ladders,
you have to, like, you have to do split J's all through.
He does S's. He's fucking dude, mad tight. Dude.
He's on a different level than any other pilot, man. That dude fucking rips.
Yeah, I was watching. I think did I send that video through today? I fucking was watching one of his videos today. I think I sent it to myself to send to you or watch tonight. I don't remember which. A split Q, yeah, right. Fucking. Well, shit. Totally blew the intro. Shout out to the pilot of the week, E-Drone.
Yeah, give him a sub.
Happy motherfucking birthday to Izzy Sky. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And there's at least one other. I know there's some coming up too. Oh, I know. Happy birthday, Enoch. Fucking, let's go.
Shit,
oh.
Happy birthday, dude.
Wrong button. Fucking, shout out to all y'all this week in the chat. How y'all doing? It's going to break the button this week. What's going on? We heard so what's this crazy shit? Y'all know, what's going on with DJI and Walksnail? What is going on? We're hearing some companies are being told or
fisticuffs of sorts.
Are they scrapping? Is it like fucking cage match? That'd be hilarious. Like Can we do a celebrity death match? Walksnail versus DJI? I think it'd be fucking hysterical. We need to do that. But what is going on? Honestly, I saw was it Gepars? No, what? I don't want to misquote anything. I saw one company today, and I believe Greg saw a different company today that said they weren't going to be shipping Binin flies with certain VTXs on it. What the hell's going on? Anybody know? What's up? G'day, Carbon Cage. What's going on? I'm out of the loop on this one. I don't know what the hell's going on. Does anybody know? Word on the street?
I personally don't. But I saw, I think it was one of the Cadix people posted about it.
Indeed. All the way up to the elbow.
Let's see if I can find it.
Fisting each other. I'm looking too. What else is going on in the FPV universe out there? You guys get any packs in?
I got a bunch of packs in the other night. I flew flew at my usual night spot with my homie Maddie.
Word. We're off to the races tonight. I don't have a hell of a lot going on. Like, just been working on stuff. Lots of color science nerdery. Very interesting things. I've discovered some interesting things in how YouTube handles certain video uploads, which is hella interesting. 60 packs this week. Goddamn. Let's go.
Okay, it was Gep RC no longer makes drones with the walk snail system because DJI is doing some shit.
I think that's what I saw too, was Gep RC. Yeah. It's funny nobody in the chat's heard anything at all. Or nobody's chimed in yet.
The only thing I see here is a Instagram post of a text chat. This says, hello, I have a question. Why aren't you offering drones with the walk snail video system? And it says, due to DJI pressure. And then I said, is there something we could do about that? And I said, we could do nothing. Yeah. Well, wonder what kind of pressure. Somebody showing up like their door with a baseball bat and like those kneecaps.
You like them kneecaps? Best be stopping them walk snails.
Are you attached to them?
What's going on with those new walk snail goggles? I see a lot of people like.
I'm not sure. I haven't
making
heard much
noise.
About the goggles. I heard there's a new 4K camera coming out though, which is interesting.
From walk snail?
From walk snail, yeah.
Right on.
It does better at night than the 03. That's for damn sure.
Well, I feel like
way better actually.
I feel like Cement said the last walk snail camera was doing way better than DJI.
It was, but the problem is the recording is still shit compared to DJI. I mean, would you rather have fucking GoPro looking quality or actual DVR looking quality? Because that's still what walk snail looked a little bit like, but they seem to be improving quite a bit, so that may change pretty quick. DJI, that's why DJI might not be too happy, because walk snail might be developing something that's quite on par with their current recording system. Might be even cheaper too, you never know.
I mean, like you said, I buy VTXs to see, and on certain situations I could see using a recording off of them, but that's not, I don't care about the recording. Like, I'm going to generally carry something else because I want to be able to see.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
I want to be able to,
I think a lot of people would be like that. They care more about being able to see well rather than
I just want to be able to see
well, because they're already recording with their sick camera that they bought anyway. But for people like me who like to build a fucking nice lightweight freestyle rig to bash around those, but you still want to,
I mean, with
push the pixels a little bit.
With
those are nice.
Some of the stuff that Chris is doing and him, and the guys out there, it's like they're basically ripping the GoPros apart and embedding them inside the frame. So I don't know if you've seen Chris.
That's a good idea, but it seems like a lot of work.
I mean, well, at the same time though, like, look, those dudes are out flying EDC, and
I could see that being something I would do for something I would never crash or never intend to crash. You know what I mean?
I think in a lot of ways doing that makes it way more fucking durable. You'd have to break the frame to break the GoPro,
but it's the work that I'm putting into the drone that I'm going to make sure that it's a purpose-built drone, like for long range. I'm going to dive some fucking mountains or something like that with it. It's not going to be something I'm going to take to a bando or a fucking park and rip around and, spang around. I wouldn't put the effort into
like I said,
inside of a fucking frame. That'd be cool.
If you remember what was the camera back in the day? It was an analog camera, but it had two different lenses built into it. It's basically what they're doing. So you have your DJI sensor down here, and then you throw your fucking GoPro sensor on top. so that way it's matching the angle, and then you embed the recording guts in with your flight controller and shit. The most you're gonna break is the lens. You know what I mean? Like maybe the sensor board if you hit it hard, but like so. In that case, it's just like, okay, that's pretty insane. You know, they're building, because, you know, when you this all stems from the naked community. It's just kind of taking it to the next level in terms of integrating it into the body of the frame. Very similar to what, you know, some of the guys are doing with the naked Blackmagic cameras, where they're like mounting it into a flat thing, and then you just have the sensor sticking up top. What up, Trinity? Hey, happy you guys? Are you guys ready for Halloween, Trinity?
Darkwing, you got any lights? Come bring down some fucking crazy lights for Halloween. We'll make a fucking
do a track,
little fucking track out in fucking Chartliff Park or something. I can play with my drone.
I mean, like I said, I have, you know, plenty of again, and then like with, you know, the sub 250 crowd, when you know, I think that's where this thing that Chris is working on really comes into play, because the reality is like all those guys have realized that at least for their needs, the 03 doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. They have to have a GoPro. They need a separate record rate and different thing versus what they're doing, you know.
For their needs, yeah. Like I was saying before, for people like me who want a lightweight freestyle build that they could fucking just rip around, 03s are great. You can't match the fucking performance of that with a GoPro on there. It's a night and day fucking performance difference with a heavier quad versus a light quad, in my opinion. I used to think heavy quad was the way to go. But
that's really subjective. That's really subjective. You might like the feel of it and everything, but and that's cool. That's absolutely cool. You know, it's
you can fly so much differently, it seems.
Elsa and Anna for Frozen. Zombie and a bat last year.
Like I can be a lot more aggressive with a lightweight quad.
One thing that's good about light quads is that, you know, when you do crash, there's not as much mass smacking into it. So, I mean, I feel that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, GoPros don't weigh that much, you know. And
no.
And like I said, with things like what Chris is doing.
Most of the time I'm flying with a GoPro anyway.
With what Chris is doing and some of the other cats, it's like rip it down and protect it. I mean, think about it. If you were to take a GoPro and just slather it in TPU, it'd be indestructible. You could make an indestructible that doesn't fucking weigh shit.
I'd say an 11 mini is pretty damn well close to fucking indestructible. I mean, I've smacked it on fucking concrete and against shit plenty of times, and the most I've broken is the glass on the front once or twice, and then I broke the lady flaps on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I ripped them clean off.
I don't use them, so I don't.
I was using them for I broke it at IO, and I was going from drone to drone. I think I broke all my drones when I was there. So like I was finally left with a drone that just had the fucking way you screw it on. I didn't have a mount for it. So fuck it. Send it. I sent it right into a fucking concrete pillar. That was fun.
I mean, you know, the tech's going to get better. I think that with some of I'll tell you one thing I really think the 03 excels at, if I'm going to give it something I really think it's good at, using it for web streaming. When they're mounting a second setup on top and using it with a little gimbal or something, and they're chasing the ski people or whatever, that's fucking a great application. Like live streaming, fuck yeah. You know, it's like, from a fidelity standpoint, comparatively, the dynamic range is just so small comparatively. Like it's a challenge, and I see it in a lot of stuff. But like, you know, it's better than analog. It's better than analog DVR. There's no question. It's night and day better. You know, like it's just, and I think that using it for certain apps, especially the web streaming thing, because the cool thing about the web streaming thing is and this is the problem with the 03 and all of them really, with the web streaming thing, you can drop it down to 30 frames and it's not fucking up what you're seeing. So when you have the secondary 03 up top and you have it set to 30 frame, and then you're rocking 120 on your goggles, it's the best of both worlds, you know. Mm. And I would say that for not wanting to post process and just hit something like a live stream or, you know, something of that nature, using it as a web, like as a live streaming camera is fucking amazing. It's great. It's absolutely great. If O3 had dynamic range. Yeah, and I mean, the color science is not bad. Like, I think that DJI's color science has gotten a lot better. I wish they would do a full, like, D-log curve on it. It would be even better, but it's not bad. The color science isn't bad. The dynamic range is a problem. And, you know, and the lack of being able to lock it down, you know. I mean, again, yeah, if you just want to cut stuff to watch for the homies, cool. You know, that's totally cool.
What do you mean you can't lock it down?
You can't lock, like, it's all or nothing. You can't mix and match. You can't lock it down the way you would want, like you can with a GoPro.
No, you can't. There's certain settings that are kind of blocked off.
You know, and that's, you know, and to be quite frank, you know, GoPro Labs completely changes the GoPro. So, I mean, it makes it, like, pretty amazing, actually. What I'm really waiting for somebody to do, though, honestly, is rip apart iPhone 15 and make a naked fucking naked iPhone 15. Because, bro, I'm telling you, like, that shit actually is, like, it's getting scary. Like, the quality of file you can get off those cameras now, and what you can do with them. It's like,
yeah, they shoot raw and shit.
Yeah, well, it's not raw, but it's a real, like, log format that's actually pretty decent. I've developed some of the footage already from a 15 just in practice, and, like, it looks decent. Like, it's like, wow, that's just for a phone. Like, it's pretty surprising.
Yo.
Oh my god, what up?
Oh shit, what up, Briscoe?
What's going on, bro?
Shit.
How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
You too.
What are you doing? I'm glad.
Nothing. Just fucking recovering from my wisdom teeth bullshit.
Oh, you had your wisdom teeth out?
Yeah.
Ugh. Isn't it a little late?
They were never a problem until
until they were
a couple days ago.
Well, wait, my wisdom teeth are destroying my
Aren't you supposed to get those out when you're like 18?
I guess some people don't have to. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, bro,
my dentist in the family was like,
for a long time,
I guess,
until now.
Yeah. My dentist was like, who's like my dad's cousin or whatever, was like, you don't need them, or I'm vaguely remembering he might have said something like, you're gonna need them out in your 30s, but don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right, cool, as like a 12-year-old or whatever. So I don't fucking know.
Yeah, mine are completely fucking impacted. They're just growing like towards my eyes. They're gonna come out. I'm gonna have teeth.
It just gets worse and worse. I will say, like, it wasn't that bad though.
Did you get an abscess? Or did it get that bad?
There's all kinds of shit going on, man.
So, I mean, I was supposed to. I got mine out. Let me think exactly now. I was probably about 24 or 5. And, you know, it was the same thing. They're like, oh, as long as they don't bother you, you can leave them. Well, it turned out that my bottom two were growing in straight forward rather than up. They were like coming in straight forward, and my other ones were coming out at like some other crazy angle, you know. And then one of them, it started giving me a little bit of like discomfort, and I made an appointment and had a surgery scheduled for like, you know, in the future, whatever. And like the week before the 4th of July, like it was like probably like July 1st, abscess at like 8:00 at night, bro. And I'd never experienced anything like it. I thought my head was gonna explode, man. It went from nothing to like I was in tears, couldn't sleep. I was drinking whiskey, dude.
And that's after you had him out?
No. I was scheduled to get them out like a week or two in the future, and all of a sudden, because like I said, they started kind of giving me a little bit of like they were starting to push my teeth. That's why I have fucked up teeth because of my wisdom teeth.
Dude. Yeah, me too. That's what I had. Yeah.
And anyway, like so, I was actually traveling. I was getting ready to go on tour with Duran Duran, and I had to fly to fucking the UK like in 2 weeks. So it was like, okay, cool, 4th of July weekend, I can party, I'm gonna get my teeth out right after, I'll have a week to recover, and then I fly to the UK. And it didn't happen. Like I made it, I fucking, like 3 days after I walked out of the dentist office to get my checkup, abscess to hell, and had an emergency surgery the next morning. And dude, I was out for like a week. It fucked me up bad because it was like it got like really badly infected, like literally in no time. And yeah, that's my story. And I was all fucked up, so I know how it goes. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of being an idiot about it for like a week, and then I finally went to the fucking dentist because, yeah, I just hate that shit.
They had to.
But I'm glad it's over.
They had to surgically remove all 4 because of the angles mine were in, especially the bottom 2. They couldn't get them. They couldn't pull them. They had to fucking actually surgically cut my fucking jawline open and shit to get in there. And
wow. It's okay.
I wouldn't be able to be awake for any of that shit.
Oh no.
My day has been full of this dental.
They put my ass out.
Bullshit.
They put my ass out, bro. I was fucking. I woke up and was like,
bro, they'd have to put my ass out just for like an extraction. Like I don't want to experience none of that.
Just like before you even come in the door, just put you out and wheel you into the building.
Just walk in, somebody just decks me in the face.
I had to have one. Yeah, well, they just knock it right out, and then they just deck you in the face, knock the tooth out, send you back out the door. Fucking. Oh wait, that was the wrong one. Sorry. Come here. Yeah, I mean,
I'll send you that down there to get your fractured skull fixed.
I had to have one yoinked a few months ago. I think it was right before I went out with Joe. I was fucking having all kinds of problems, and it got abscessed, and shit was going in my ear, and bro, it was gnarly.
Oh, over the summer, right after I got back from IO, my fucking back molar here just fucking bursted out in a fucking abscess. I fucking tried to fucking just like man up and sleep it off, just like any American would. Fucking
gotta drink whiskey, bro. Whiskey's the cure.
And but no, I that was the fucking worst pain ever, man. I hate fucking tooth pain.
You guys are bugging me out right now.
Yeah, we're good. We're good with that conversation now. Fucking, what the hell's going on with you? I haven't seen you in a minute. I've been meaning to call your ass, actually.
Yeah. I'm just trying to fucking keep my ass busy with work and shit.
I feel that.
Yeah. That's mainly the fucking main concern. Yep.
Right.
But, yep. But, yeah, that shit's boring sometimes, so I gotta do something.
What up,
fucking drone related and shit.
You're doing mostly fucking coding stuff still, primarily?
Yeah, mostly. It's still somewhat me. It's a lot of AI writing the code now, but
we were talking.
I'm still in there too.
We were talking about that before the show.
You're just critiquing AI at this point.
Yeah, you're just being like that. That's correct. No, I don't like that, but you never have to write it yourself. Yeah,
I've been dabbling.
You were copying and pasting for a long. Before that it was copy and paste, so it's really not that much different than.
Right.
You can even get ChatGPT to fucking write you out basic code that could potentially be correct.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, and there's like advanced ways to get even better code out of it. That's like legit.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Well, a buddy of Chris and I's and Vince and a bunch of people, Ophidy and Fitty, the guy that we all hang out with from back in the day. Fucking, he's actually hella into AI as well, and he helped Westside do the AI video. He helped him kind of get started with some of the AI video stuff that he's been doing. So I had a conversation with him about 2 weeks ago in Discord, and I was like, yo, because I'm trying to start writing some plugins for Resolve. And I was getting a little ambitious because I want to do an OFX, and I understand how to do it. I want to grab the region of interest that's basically coming off the fucking Resolve timeline, and I want to be able to turn that around and send it out to another API that will actually convert it into new tech NDI transport protocol. So basically it will take the video coming off my timeline, spit it out as new tech NDI, which is a network video transport, and that will let you basically throw it wherever you want. So like you could have like other computers around your facility, your house, or down the street, or whatever it is, and use the NDI, just pick it up. It just broadcasts it, and you just pick it up and you can watch it. There's basically NDI viewers. It's actually a really awesome video streaming protocol. And there's all the APIs and SDKs are out there. So I started talking to him about it, and it's like, all right, well, first have a conversation with chat like you're talking to an architect, software architect, and basically start developing that and talk to them, explain what you're doing, feed them like data from your, if you have documentation, and start getting the basic plan together. And then once you're ready, have it write you a plan, and then start a new chat. and have a second conversation, start another conversation like you're talking to a software coder and say, this is the software architecture plan that I need. This is the API data. Here's all the relevant data. And you feed them the entire plan that you created with the first chat. And you start daisy chaining your chats basically until you get what you want effectively.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I've done it like that manually too. Like that's, I don't know if there was like YouTube videos going around. It's funny that this is like cutting edge shit, but it's like you watch a YouTube video. That's the official way to learn this shit. But like you like I did that manually, and you do all that like copy and paste in the window. But then if you use their API, like you can write code that starts a chat, and you can make it say all kind of corny stuff in the beginning, like hey, whatever you're going to type in the chat GPT. It sends that over like just an API request, and then you get back the response. So you can automate you sitting in front of the computer and doing it. So there's like a bunch of repos on GitHub now that are all about like you give it a small description of what you want for the software to be, and it'll break out into all the different roles of different people, have the conversations between them all. It'll even like limit them because they'll go on and on about like useless shit, just like at a real job. Yeah, it's crazy shit, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, I can't wait to see that shit in open world video games, like NPCs just randomly talking about fucking whatever the fuck they want, and you can walk in and talk to them. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, totally. Or like you knock something over in the first part of the game, and then like at the end of the game, they're still talking about like how this idiot
you knocked it over?
Can over or whatever. You
Remember that asshole that came in and tried to convince us this was a game?
Well, I haven't been able to sit back and continue my conversation. I actually recorded all the notes that I got from chat, and I've started a framework for this OFX plugin that basically you'll be able to load this plugin into Resolve, and it will ultimately spit out to an IP address a fucking video stream. Just boom, broadcast, here you go, and then you can dial into it. So I started because I got the new Tech SDK, and I've got the OFX SDK, and I'm able to like I have all the API info, and I was able to start getting chat to write me the code to start in C to wrap it all in, basically. It's pretty cool. I was like, holy shit, this is dope.
It's dope. I mean, and everyone says like, oh, I ran the code, it gave me an error or whatever. And so it's like, and there's tools to automate this now, but you just copy the error into it. You don't have to even say anything. You just say like invalid exception, whatever, and it'll say, oh, my mistake. It's this, whatever. Like it always fucking apologizes to you too. It's really weird. It's the way that OpenAI trained it. It's like, I'm really sorry for the misunderstanding. And after like 30 times, you're like, would you please fucking stop apologizing, dude? I don't care.
I was like, it's like, this is a very complex operation. It's like,
but there's crazy tools though to do what you're saying like fast, and they're new. Like as of one of them's 3 months old, a couple of them are like a couple weeks old. The shit changes so fast. So, like even the stuff I'm talking about, there's probably already new shit out that I don't know about yet.
Right.
It's so fucking fast. Yeah, it's like kind of too fast, and like it gives you like anxiety about like never being fucking up to date or whatever. But
well, it's super dope because like for me, like in my colorist stuff, like I'm now able to like hey chat, do you understand the color science coming off of this camera, and like start talking about the math of the color primaries and the transfer function, and be like, okay, so now that you know that, it's like, can you write me a transfer function to get to this camera from that to this? And it's basically creating the matrix that will translate this color space to that color space and do the appropriate, gamma and chroma transfer over, and then it spits it out. And then I can literally drop that into a text, save it as a DCTL, load it into Resolve, and then it's basically like this fucking mathematically accurate LUT that will take me right from this to that. Like that alone just saves you a fuckload of time too. Plus, like, because like there's a lot of advanced math calculations, and I sure as hell don't know and remember all of them. And it's like, you can basically tell it what math you needed to ultimately create a fucking formula for, and then punch it in, and it does it. It's like. in simplest terms, you know, or you can ask it like, what are the primaries for this camera, and see if it has the info, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
it fucking so helpful, man. Like, it understands how to resolve OFX, which is dope, or OFX, which is a standard. It's not just resolve; it's other. OFX works it's a video plugin architecture for a number of applications, and so basically, yeah, it understands that. And then DCTL is a resolve thing, and those tend to be pretty simple, all in all. But it's pretty fucking dope. Before our lives are done, we have to get SwiftDuck to actually have an effect from an edible. Sorry, I just had to put that out there.
It'll never happen. It won't. I've tried fucking so many fucking
Exactly.
times.
Yo, computer, map this shit up for me right quick. Because, like, you know,
you probably have to give me an obscene amount for it to fucking, like...
We need to go visit
my body
Bot
just
Grinder.
metabolizes it to a point where, like, it doesn't do anything. I ate 1,000 milligrams as a challenge once because nobody would believe me that... Or they didn't believe that I couldn't get fucking stoned off of edibles, so I ate it.
Your body just may not metabolize it right.
What?
Your body may just not metabolize it and process it right
at all.
Which is odd.
Sucks.
And I've talked about it before. It's like, I really want to start training a model to understand PID tuning, where, you know, you can literally like, be like, you know, this is, you know, teach it what a good tune looks like effectively, you know, and then I mean, really, a good tune isn't even really subjective in certain regards. It's objective, you know. This is what the PID loop needs to be doing. And so based on this input data, how do I get to there, you know, and be able to just basically grab your black box, get your fucking, you know, your graph and fucking
couple readings,
and a couple readings and fucking send it, you know.
So there's ways to do that shit, like with any data. Like you could be talking about rain every year or something, like whatever it is. As long as you have like tables and rows and columns of data, then you can hide some of the columns, and that's what it's training on. And then you can make new rows without those columns, and the AI will fill in those columns. That's what, right. That's what how that process is, and like. You can do that like in a very cheap way, or you can do that and like spend millions of dollars on the electricity and all that shit. And what changes there is like how deep its reasoning is, like how many neurons it's using. Like sometimes it won't actually learn, but it just kind of like learns the data set and learns how to like give you the right answer. So there's like overtraining, there's undertraining, and then none of that is language models. None of that's like ChatGPT. Another idea is like feed it a bunch of diff files and like measurements of drones and shit, and like let it output diffs. Be like, I want a diff of a perfect tune
for this
6S blah blah blah.
Right.
This motor's this frame, and it'll say blah 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 blah, and it might not be right. It probably won't be right the first 1,000 times. But
you have to remember though that the coolest part about it is that, you know, we have tools like, you know, Plasmetry was the first one that was pretty wildly used. And now you have PID Toolbox, you know, where Brian White has done an amazing job putting together. And the bottom line is, though, is all of that, all those algorithms are out there, right? So like Brian can read from the black box what the PID loop is doing, you know, and it's like, so you could feed it just shitloads of black box based on that particular algorithm to get the input responses, right? And get a shitload of input responses. And then based on all of that, like, I need to match it to what the correct response is for this combination. And it'd be dope too, like to start getting tweaky, like, you know, 6S this kV, 5S that kV, you know, like give it a bunch of like ranges of how the loops respond based on various kV and voltage combinations, prop combinations, you know, start looking at frequency plots off of different props and kV and voltage combos.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see like what choices it makes. Like if you change props, it goes with a dramatically different tune. It's like, well, why would you do that? And let's say like it works really well. Like, well, why does that work fucking really well?
Right.
It just seems like it could be some like it could be extremely fucking cool. I think it just takes so much time to figure this out. Like, who's paying for this shit? I don't have free time for this, unfortunately. It sucks.
Right.
But like I'm fascinated by it. I also have a couple other FPV related AI ideas that I don't want to give away yet for like other products and shit like that.
Give it away
now. Yeah, I think Swift Duck needs to boof his edibles. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That might work. That actually might work. Actually, yeah. The science is sound on that. It might work.
Just wad it up, roll it up like a fucking,
It's the right color. It'll be right at home.
Just slide it on in.
No, it is disappointing though. I've tried so many times, wasted so much money on edibles, and been like, oh, this sucks.
I'm trying to figure out what was making. You did 4,000 milligrams, and you were tripping. Yeah,
that sounds fun. Actually.
When I've gotten up into those areas, I just pass the fuck out.
If somebody handed me 4,000 milligrams of it, I would try it. Shit, I might even feel something. You never know. I might just be overwhelm my system to the point where it's like, oh, finally I'll do. Well, something.
I had a buddy that he was like, wow.
Fucking mainline.
I had a buddy who was like, I can't trip. He kept telling me, he's like, bro, I did this, I did that, I did this, and da. And then, sometimes it's just the right set of chemistry and circumstances that sets you off. And then,
you just be sitting there fucking zoning out, thinking about something, and the next thing you know, and you've been staring at the tile wall and completely fucking off somewhere, and then you come back and you're like, wait, what? Holy shit. I don't know. That's one thing I'm grateful that is psychedelics do affect me very easily. My body does something with that, so I'm happy.
Reading with fly highs. Seeing people go from mad vibes, lay their battery on the side. Yeah, I mean, depending on, the mechanical properties of the quad affects the frequencies of the quad. So, if your filters are doing something, inadequately in a certain configuration, changing your configuration can affect the filter, what the noise or the resonance is coming into the filter. And so if the filter wasn't set right, moving your battery can change the resonance of the frame. And then maybe that frequency shifts enough to now your filters are catching it, and now the quad flies fine. That's a thing. So something to consider. Cleans. But that's really the thing. It's like what because with filter tuning in AI, I would expect it has to already know what a low pass filter does, for example, and then the various orders of low pass filters, right? And then you teach it, and it has to know what notch filters does. Like I could imagine that it knows what all the standard filter topologies are already.
Yeah, but you can teach it. You can teach it domain knowledge like that. And like that's a task. That's like I tried to do that this week. I thought it could be like really easy. I'll just scrape like every FPV video and transcribe it and whatever and feed it in. And it's not as simple as that. Like you have to be able to say like, well, this manufacturer Diatone is a manufacturer and they make something called flight controllers and this is the Mamba. You can't just like have it read a sentence about Diatone Mamba and say, oh, Diatone Mamba, make that connection. You have to tell it all the fucking types of connections. So you basically have to describe like everything there is to know, like all the categories and how they relate, and then give it a bunch of text about how pigs work and filters work and all that shit. You can even feed it like audio.
So you literally have to teach it.
Yes, yeah. And that's hard. It's hard. It's like it might be easy soon. Like pretty soon there might be a tool. There are some tools out there that cost money that you can just feed it a lot of text.
But I would expect
to figure out how
mathematically. I would expect mathematically it would already. You wouldn't necessarily have to teach it how a low pass filter works. However, because there's hard math to all of that. You know what I mean? And like and so it
depends on what your base model is. Like if your base model is the latest ChatGPT, it knows a lot of shit. But there's other base models that are trained on not the same stuff. They might not know everything. There's some that are just trained on Python programming, for example. And I think if they take a base model and then they add the Python programming, so it might forget some stuff. I don't really know the ins and I can't talk like fully confidently about that.
Yeah, I'm still learning too. So like,
but another thing people are doing is multi-model shit. Like they'll say, "Give me GPT-4, we'll write the plan because it's smart. Let's have it write the plan, and then we'll have
that's what I was doing.
5 write all the code because it's cheap.
Right.
But right now, use 4 for everything. It's not that expensive. And 3.5 like pretty.
It's like 20 a month, right? I think it's like
but
20 a month for 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. But then to
Unless
use the tools with it, to use the API, you pay like basically for every word in and out a fraction of a cent, and it adds up pretty quickly. But it's not too bad.
It's probably why it chats amongst itself. They're probably, chat amongst yourself because every fucking word is a fraction of a penny.
ChatGPT is really Skynet, bro.
I mean, they're like they're like wasting time on the clock. Like they're like real employee simulators. You know, they fucking hang out by the water cooler till 5 o'clock.
I mean, at the rate we're going, I don't expect that the training is going to last. You know, in a decade from now, it's going to be insanity. You know, yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, certain filters, low pass, notches. I'm trying to think what's really, you know, because RPM filter is just a bunch of notch filters that just, you know, are reading the fucking RPM data coming in and tuning accordingly effectively. You know, it's not really that advanced in certain regards. You know, like the rest of it is mostly dynamic fucking low passes. You know, so like,
yeah.
And then to teach it like, I mean, it mathematically, if you send a certain frequency in and you are attenuating that frequency with by a certain amount with a certain amount of roll off per octave, it's mathematically that's not crazy stuff. You know what I mean? That's you have 1 hertz gets with this filter cut off at this roll off will be attenuated accordingly. There's already shitloads of models of all of that data.
Yeah, you can calculate it. Yeah,
you know. And there's even phase delay. People have done tons of phase delay shit because that's EQ tech, you know.
Oh, Flyhead, that's awesome. And why were you rotating the?
Yeah, why were you rotating telephone poles?
I'm just curious.
Brute force.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, right on. Yeah, so yeah, you would ultimately have to make sure that either teach it or make sure it
they rotated the photo so that the pole was up. I understand. They weren't rotating the pole in the photo. I understand. So you could see the pole top to bottom. I got you. That's cool. The new GPT-4 image AI shit, like you can give it a screenshot or a graph or something and it'll just read it. It's pretty dope. Like you can give it a picture of like a bicycle and say, how do I fix the back tire? And it'll give you directions for that bicycle. Even if it's not like a known brand, it'll see it and it'll say under the whatever. And then the other, you can then take a picture of your toolbox or like your socket set and say, do I have the right tools for this? And it'll say on the left, 3 from the bottom, there's a 3/4 and blah, blah, blah. And that was a demo. That was probably like, it's probably not that good all the time. But I imagine like using that, like you could feed it some graphs, plasma tree screenshots and shit. Like, you know, this is like not an easy project, but in 6 months, dude, it's going to be fucking incredible, dude. You said 10 years. 6 months is going to be incredible.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I think in 10 years, this shit's going to be terrifying.
10 years, it's going to be setting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how long do you think before we hit singularity?
That's what I'm saying, dude. ChatGPT is basically Skynet, and when it goes fucking self-aware,
it's gonna go lawnmower man and transfer itself across the universe.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, I used to always say that was bullshit, but some like really fucking smart people are saying the same thing.
What like it could go lawnmower man? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
really, what they're trying to do is like, there's really not much use for it to be as good as it is at being Chat GPT. Okay, so what they're trying to do is make it be autonomous, so it just does shit. It thinks of stuff to do and then does it. That's what they're trying to do.
Starts robbing people.
The whole thing is that they're trying to make it ethical. You know, like by our ethics. Like, what the hell does a robot know about?
You gotta give it the laws of robotics. Have they trained it all the laws of robotics? Is that hard coded in? Have we gotten there yet? Did they cover their fucking bases yet? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's cool shit. I'm gonna mix it with drones somehow someday soon.
It's probably gonna. You've seen a bunch of the faked videos online, and then they fucking have even the voice that is making people fucking
bro,
say
I was
things
gonna
that they've never
play.
said any before, dude. And they're probably gonna have like in the future the president say something to the fucking the leader of fucking North Korea, and he's gonna get fucking pissed, and it's all just an AI thing, and they don't know, and fucking they send nukes, and it's just the fucking end of the world because somebody talks shit with an AI program.
Dude, Twitter is such a shit show right now that they actually, there's a whole group of people that are making sure that people know that there's loads of tools to be able to load in a video or a photo into, and it will tell you if it was AI. And so that's like pretty clutch. I mean, we're already at the point where tons of people they see a picture and they just take it at face value right out the gate. They don't even question it. And so like, it's interesting. I see some of these like really amazing AI photos, and then I look at the comments. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes, and then there's some people and they're like, dudes, this shit is not real. Like, this shit's not real, y'all. Fucking calm down. You know what I mean? We're already fucking there. And so I think it's important to know, and people are like getting really like almost activists, like, here's this website. If you see something, put it in here first before you flip the fuck out, because it will tell you whether or not it's been doctored, and so like, thank fuck for that. But I think that's something is almost going to become a requirement, like built into your devices, that when something comes up on your screen, it's you can just go click, is that real? Because otherwise, and the reality is, like I said, a lot of people, especially like, think about it, like, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole any age group or anything, but there's a lot of people out there that just aren't necessarily that hip to some of this stuff, and they just don't realize. Like, I have family members sometimes post something like, oh, look at this, and I'm like, dude, it's fucking fake, bro. Like, chill. Like, like, it's fake, and it's got
somebody who doesn't know, you'd see one of these pictures, they don't, and be like, wow, that's a really nice
it's
dog.
really hard to tell.
I mean, for a long time it was like, do they have 6 fingers? Like, or not?
That's been fixed now too.
And that's
I mean, you can still get the 6 fingers, but there's or like 30 fingers or whatever.
And I mean, bro, one of my favorite artists right now is the guy that makes fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger sing like crazy songs. Like,
I've seen one of them.
Some of those are fucking amazing.
Make somebody say something that
totally
some problems.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, what was I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger like singing Madonna like a virgin and shit, dude. It's fucking hilarious, priceless.
I wonder if now you'll need 2 angles for video evidence and shit like that. I wonder like what's going to happen. Because it's going to just inevitably get better and better. Like, you can just do it all in Unreal Engine probably soon. Like,
dude, Unreal's getting crazy, man. Like, Unreal's getting pretty impressive. It really is. I don't know if you ever watched Code Miko, but she does that. She's a VTuber, and she's ridiculous. But she does right now she has a fucking a suit. You know what I mean, to capture all of her motion and facial expressions, and she's got cameras, like scanners on her face and shit. So she basically has her avatar, and now she's building crazy Unreal Engine environments and putting herself into them. But she's like a comedian almost, like, and she just does like crazy, zany, ridiculous shit. But it's impressive. Like, it's like what she's creating. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa. Like, she's creating this whole world for her avatar to fuck around in, and like, she'll just do the most like ridiculous interviews with other like famous YouTube or Twitch people, streamers and shit. And she just like, she'll be like sitting there having like this serious interview, and all of a sudden her tits will just get ginormous, like just ridiculous shit, dude. It's hilarious. Yeah.
It just takes a little bit of creativity now. I think it's like, and that part I think is cool, and also it could be harmful too, like, because if everybody can make dope shit, then I don't know. It's like then all of a sudden it's gonna change things. I don't know if I like that or not.
Because yesterday or the day before, I was messing around with ChatGPT. I just had it made me a fucking like a 10-page comic strip about fucking a wizard fighting a bear, and it like came out with this fucking art. Sorry, it wasn't ChatGPT. It was fucking the Bing AI generator. And it would just like generated nice artwork, fucking panels, bubbles. The only thing it couldn't do right was dialogue. It like wrote it in all hieroglyphs, like like you're trying to like you're tripping balls trying to read something, and it fucking doesn't look like anything
in the image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you did you try DALL-E 3? DALL-E 3, like
No.
you could tell it. I want a cartoon. Like the demo they use is like, give me an avocado with a pit missing inside, sitting on a chair, talking to his therapist, saying in a bubble that says, "I just feel so empty inside." And then in the chair is a spoon with a notebook, and he's writing notes down, and it draws this exact comic strip over and over in different ways. Sometimes the text is messed up, and sometimes it's perfect.
Right.
But it's a pretty simple scene to describe. But once again, like wait 6 months, dude. You could probably try exactly what you just tried, but it'll come out. Like,
it's getting
exactly
scary good, scary fast for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've seen it because I've fucked around with AI art ever since it was started becoming a thing, you know, and I dabble here and there, check up on it and stuff, you know, and but to your earlier point, I mean, you know, because like I know a couple guys are training it right now to like, if you've got, you know, this RE film camera that was used on, you know, Apocalypse Now, and you like the way that movie looked, you can basically snag all of the aspects of it and then apply that to whatever movie you're working on. And so there are, you know, which as somebody who's spent a lot of time working on color and color science is like, fuck, you know, but at the same time, it's like, no, it's a good tool. The reality is that most finishers I know that have dabbled with some of those tools are like, yeah, it's cool. We can already do it by hand. And I still end up having to finish, you know, ultimately. But totally. At the same time, you know, it's like you think about like artists like, you know, Zorro and Maddie Blunts and whoever, like, I couldn't even name all the wonderful artists just in this community alone. You know, like AI is not going to go out with a spray can and fucking, you know, do an amazing mural on a fucking concrete bridge, you know, at the same, you know, and so there's that side of it. And then, you know, at least not yet, until we have Boston Dynamics robots with fucking spray cans out there doing it. But, you know, but at the same time, like, you know, I have been really torn personally about how I feel about some of the art. You know, it's like, it's cool to generate wacky, different, just out there shit, like stuff you just, you know, I think it's amazing personally. But I don't necessarily want to sit back and say, oh, look at me, I'm an artist now. Look at my art I generated with the fucking thing. Just, you know, I think that's really, it's a very, yeah, where do we draw the line, like I guess?
Those,
like, you know, like.
The way I see it, it's like those, remember those magic eye posters in the mall?
Yeah.
They were like fucking cool, right? At the time in the 80s or whatever. Yeah. But you wouldn't be like, if you were like the head guy who made like the spaceships and shit, you wouldn't be like, I'm a celebrated artist. No, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but the really cool shit is like what Fly High's talking about, putting his products in there and getting pictures out. There's a lot of companies trying to do shit like this, and I'm trying to freelance and do the work for companies like this. That is where I think like real artists can use it to do like crazy good shit, or like a movie producer can use it to do their like storyboard and shit like that. Dude,
previs and background assets. Like if I needed a fucking, you know, for lack of a better term, a volume. I needed a volume behind what I was doing, you know, for like a VFX comp or something. And hell yeah. Like I think that when you use it to augment, or like I said, if I'm trying to like figure out the math to create a transform from this space to that space when I'm doing color shit, that's what I call useful AI tuning, rotating pictures, you know, like automation of menial tasks. You know, I want you to take these 20 drone videos and at least load them up on my fucking project timeline and get them all basically ready. Make sure my audio is all in sync. You know, I don't want to have to necessarily do all that all the time, you know, but you know,
I mean, maybe it's like if you, when you get to the point that you would train and hire someone else to do the same stuff that you're doing now, then you train an AI to do it for like super cheap.
Yeah, it was like, you know,
that's the idea.
If you're working as a colorist, you know, or a VFX guy, it's like, yeah, I need you to take all the dailies from the guys that just went out on the shoot and load those up and conform them onto a timeline and make sure everything's in sync and set up correctly for what I'm about to do because I'm going to be working in this color space or this VFX, linear space or whatever the hell, and have it do all that fucking tedious ass shit that you would normally have to spend upwards to a day on in some cases, Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, I don't really
like move faster, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen SynPlant 2? It's an audio plugin.
Yeah, dude, that's been around for a grip. Yeah.
Oh, it has been?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I just saw it the other day. And like, you know how it is with the AI, the audio tools, everything's fucking AI compressing or whatever the hell it is, and it's like a big gimmick,
They're adding a lot of that.
It was brand new. I saw it the other day. It looks super cool.
The one, it's like a circle and it has the green. The
plant growing out of it. And stuff. That's really fucking.
That's
cool.
actually so. There's been now. I'm not saying the current version. Like I'm not sure where they are with it, honestly. But there's been iterations of that over the years. I don't remember exactly when the.
It's extremely like it makes the sound that comes out at first is the exact sound you put in, but it's a synth patch. So like it's. Once again, this is a demo I saw. I didn't try it myself. So it could have just been a good demo or whatever. You can put a bass sound in, and then it'll play that bass sound. Like you drop a WAV file in, and then you can play on the keyboard, and then you can tweak all the parameters and shit because it is a synth. I think it's super cool.
I think there's a lot of great stuff in that realm as well. Like I think there's a lot of
yeah.
And again, like dude, with like DaVinci's, just like some of their new noise reduction and some of their masking, what they call they call them AI tools, and I'm like, it's borderline AI at this point. It's pretty simple, but to be able to to be able to literally like you have somebody walking through your scene and you literally just grab your pen tool and you mark that person and it instantly fucking creates a mask around that person, and now I can just work on that person. Like if I need to adjust their clothing or their skin, or I need to maybe make the background dark but leave them exactly the way they are exposed, like those tools, fucking amazing. The noise reduction, you're recording a vlog out in the fucking street and there's all sorts of racket going on, pull it in, throw it in Resolve, hit the shit, it's real time. You just literally turn it on, and now all of a sudden all you hear is your voice. There's no cars going by. There's no drones going around. It's just your voice. And it's gotten so fucking good, and it's just using algorithms. I wouldn't go, like I said, I don't go quite so far to say it's AI, but, it's pretty cool. I mean,
AI, it's like, man, I don't know. It's
Photoshop's generative stuff is cool. The generative stuff that Adobe's doing in Photoshop, it's cool. Like, it's definitely very interesting. And it's going to get scary good where, when you can have a person that you shot a video of and then like all of a sudden you need them to be in a crowd and you can just throw it in AI and say, add a crowd and put it all in motion at this frame rate. And I want this, whatever. This, it's going to get insane.
While the actors are on strike right now.
Exactly, bro. Well, yeah. And the fact they don't get any royalties from streaming, which is, actually, that's a conversation. That's a conversation that I was having today because Netflix is trying to like jack their base rate up to like $22-$23 a month now, and like that's including like now like if you have people that were on your plan that were like not living with you, they charge you $7 a month for those extra people. And now they want to charge you $23 or $24 a month just for their base plan. And I was like, those motherfuckers, dude, they're price gouging because you're not like, and it's not just Netflix, but Netflix is a good case. It's a very, you're not paying royalties to the fucking artists that you are showing their content, their work for, number one.
Yeah, no, they're not.
And you're not really adding any value to your platform, but yet you've tripled the price in the last 3 years. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's not like, and the other thing is I have to pay for the internet just to get your service. So it's not like you're paying for the transport to get to me necessarily. You're hosting, but I still have to have access, which costs. And so like, you're spending $50-$100 a month just for your internet. Now you're spending another $125. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's fucking, oh, dude, Bannister may have some opinions about some of this too. Fucking, yeah, man, like the fact that you have them trying to take likenesses of actors and then not pay them, is like, I think everybody was stoked to see Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, using their deep fake for better or for worse. At the same
They're
time,
also doing it against their wishes.
Well,
too.
that's what I'm saying. When at the same time, when they start doing that to people like Mark Hamill against their wishes, which I'm not saying they did in that case at all. I'm just saying, there's already a lot of cases where you're seeing AI, deep faking VFX, that's what they're effectively trying to do is they're trying to take the likenesses of all these actors and then they can just literally get a double to play the part, slap that person's face and voice on them, and then they're not paying the actor. It's like, bro, you're selling my likeness. Like, those people worked hard to get that face valuable, or that voice or that body or whatever the case is, right? And so then when you have streaming platforms trying to take AI and use their likenesses to create content, and then also at the same time you're now trying to triple and quadruple your fucking prices, the fuck is going on? Like, is that what they're trying to do? Pay for their AI? Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Maybe.
The
electricity is expensive, man. The GPUs are fucking expensive. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
That's the other thing they were talking about recently is like because the AI boom, we might see another fucking GPU rush because of AI.
Yeah, also
like
NVIDIA doesn't give a shit about gamers anymore and is pretty much making server and AI cards. Which
is cool. Like, I'm glad they are making server. They were making mining cards to try to offset the which is, I'm good with that. Make those cards, but but make sure you keep your supply chain up for, content creators and gamers. Look, I'm a gamer at heart, but I'm a content, computer user fucking first and foremost, and I need some power. And I don't necessarily want to have to get raped every time I need to make a hardware upgrade. It's one reason why I'm a huge fucking PC guy because of the modularity in upgrading versus Mac. Because
remember when a fucking graphics card top end
like $300
best you can get? Yeah,
$399,
dude. Oh man, I think it was like back in like 580 and 590 or something like that. Those were top end cards. They were only like
Voodoo 3D effects, bro.
For the very top end one.
And like the Pinnacle systems back in the day.
1070 for less than $500.
Mm-hmm.
I bought my fucking 1080 back when the fucking when one of the GPU rushes were happening and they were fucking skyrocketing the prices.
I couldn't even. I had to have
even with my fucking deal, I had fucking like Best Buy discount. I had to fucking pay I think $780 for a GTX 1080.
When I bought my two 1080 when I bought my two 1080 Ti's, they were $1,500 a pop, and I couldn't even buy both of them. I had to buy one, and I had to have my homie that was with me buy the other one. They wouldn't even sell me more than one at the time, and it was ridiculous. Like I said, I spent $3,000. I walked into a fucking Micro Center and spent $3,000 on two fucking GPUs when I built that rig.
I will say that I've got my money's worth out of this damn graphics card. I think it's gone almost a decade now on this graphics card.
That's the same shit too. Like, the only thing that I'm hurting for personally right now is I need a CPU upgrade. I'm way overdue for a CPU upgrade. To be honest, like, I'm not hurting for GPU overall. Like, I need processing more than anything right now.
What processor you have?
Oh fuck! I mean, I've got a couple of machines, but like my one workstation's only like a fucking 8-core. Was it 9700, 8700, 9700, whatever, somewhere around there?
Do they make anything more than 8-core CPUs now?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. The new 14, well, the 1314s are all 2430.
What am I talking about? Of course they do. Never mind. That last one
and then, you have your
12 core, and then I think I saw a 16.
Well, I was going to upgrade right when COVID hit. Back right around 2019, 2020, I was going to upgrade, and at the time I was looking at the AMD, and they were still sitting around 12. But now they're at, dude, the new works, like the new HEDP, DT, the new high-end desktop Xeons, they're hitting like 100, they're hitting like 50, 60 cores, and it's kind of like Threadrippers up there too, but they're fucking 4,000 or 5,000 a pop, something like that. They're salty, but if I had the ability right now, the means,
I would like a better graphics card. That's all my computer needs.
There's absolutely no way the M2 MacBook Pro kicks your Xeon setup's ass, unless it's a really old Xeon.
I have an 8700K on my computer. I'm still happy with it.
For most things, I'm fine. It's only when I get into advanced like Fusion 3D stuff. When I'm starting to get into in Resolve and I'm doing like VFX and I'm getting into like heavy shit, particles. When I was doing all that particle modeling shit.
Right.
And I was using like
over a million
particles, dude. Yeah, my fucking computer wanted to catch fire. I mean, it was not happy.
My computer shows its age for editing, for sure.
Editing,
gaming is just fine. Editing is like, I have to proxy everything.
The funny
Even
thing
fucking
is
small files.
I just render in place everything.
That's not a bad approach. Noise reduction will bring any system currently pretty much to the ground. It just does. It's just like the M2s can't even touch. They can't touch a 490 for noise reduction. They just don't. They don't fucking come close. There's certain algorithms that like, so what most of the guys do is they cache. So like when you're working with certain things, like in Resolve specifically, you can cache independent nodes. So if you have a super CPU or GPU heavy node that's doing one process, you can cache it. And so then it just writes that data to disk. You throw it on a fast SSD and it writes that data to disk, and then it's not running that processing anymore. So you put those nodes towards the beginning of your tree, and then you make sure you're making changes after them. So you're not ever recaching. You just have to organize, in a good way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Dual 10 core. I mean,
similar to like bouncing an audio track or whatever.
Yeah, bouncing render to disk, bounce to disk. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I do. That's what I do with like the AI noise reduction and stuff like that in Resolve. Like once I get my shit EQ'd, and when I do a pass and I set up my EQ and my compression and kind of get my levels balanced, I'll throw my noise reduction on it. And then make sure that's good, listen to it really quick, and then I render it to disk, so that way I can keep editing and not sweat fucking all that extra fucking juice. But like the other big one is like some of the depth mapping, where you actually are like creating depth maps from image data. All that masking data, you cache that shit. Noise reduction, magic masking, particles. Yes, caching fucking particles, bro, because the motherfuckers are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fucking. The new fucking Zs are like 54 cores, bro. I mean, and frankly, the brand new, like the 1300 fucking consumer processor destroys an old Xeon. The only thing that's rocking is the 490. I mean, look at a Puget bench on any of that shit. The thing that's really killing me right now is because every machine that I've ever built for editing or anything, they've always just been dual GPUs, and the current footprints of fucking 4090s and 3090s is stupid. Like, why are you taking up 2.5, 3, almost 4 slots in some cases? You can't even get 2 fucking GPUs in most systems, unless you go into an HEDT.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. It sucks.
Yeah. I think it's like a lot of the applications for GPUs, like that need to stack them, they're now making bigger and better, like server grade GPUs. Like there's one that costs like $35,000. It's a NVIDIA fucking something or other.
The H100 or whatever.
Powerhouse.
Yeah,
it's H100.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I can rent one of those for like 40 cents an hour. Like, what do you want to do? Do something cool with it. And so like, there's no reason to like buy for what I do. There's no reason to buy GPUs because I might only need that shit for like 5 hours.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's the thing with, like you look at Blackmagic's new cloud system where you can be shooting, and in some cameras, depending what the camera is, it can connect to the cloud, at least get your proxies uploaded, and then literally you can have a fucking desktop sitting in the office that has a project with the name on it, and it will it will bounce the shit from your phone or your camera to the cloud and then right onto your fucking timeline. Like it's like, bro, like you can come home and hit play.
Who does that? What is that?
Black Magic's doing it, bro. It's ridiculous.
Oh, really? That's fucking cool. Actually, wow.
You literally gotta have a project sitting, and it will automatically fucking synchronize all of your media. And now, if you think about it, like to what you're saying, all you need to do is couple in GPU rental, into that same platform, and now you can fucking basically cloud edit, and do all your heavy lifting in the cloud and just have a decent machine at the house or in the studio or whatever,
right.
Yeah.
You see a terminal at that point, like just something that's good enough to connect to the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And that's how I game on cloud. I also do other AI shit and GPU shit in the cloud through desktop. When I do code and shit, it's usually through the command line. There's no interface, but which is like, it's kind of expensive to do it that way. But like if Resolve had like a cloud infrastructure that you can pay them per minute or whatever for these plugins or whatever.
Right now,
because you do have to pay for this shit,
Right now, the way the cloud works with Resolve, I mean, it's still pretty beta. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, this is just the beginning of it, and so I could imagine again within a few years, you're gonna start seeing more features added. But basically, right now, it's project hosting and fucking collaboration. So basically you can host a fucking movie that you're working on, and the VFX department can be working on their part, the colorist can be working on their part, the editors people can be working on their part, the Foley and dialogue and mixed sound people can be working on their parts, and the whole like fucking facility is basically just networked to the same server, and they're getting all the data served in real time. And I got a buddy he does Dolby Vision coloring, and they've got 3 facilities rocking fucking fiber and just rocking it, bro. Like they're just like fucking, okay, I'm gonna do this part today. Well, as soon as when I'm done, you can take over, do your part or whatever. Or they're doing, or if they're doing different tasks, they can do it simultaneously. It's pretty sick. And you can, so basically, you can set up an edit, and I'm going to log in as the editor. So basically what happens is the edit timeline gets locked for everyone else, but everybody else can see the media. So the colorist can be seeing the edit changes as they're coming through the pipeline and be working on the fucking, making sure the looks and the LUTs and everything fit, and start looking at it and making adjustments. Or the sound guys can start mixing.
It's revision control. It's like It's like GitHub.
Yeah, similar. But it's all in real time.
Revision control.
But it's all in real time. That's what's crazy.
So they do that now, or that's what
they're doing it right now. So that's what I was talking about. People strapping the iPhone 15 to people's quads, because right now with the iPhone 15 and the Blackmagic camera app, you can shoot Apple Log on your iPhone 15, and as soon as you hit stop, if it's tied to the Blackmagic cloud, it's going. And if you've already had a project sitting at the house that is already linked to that, it will update it and throw it in your media bin. So by the time you get home, if you're connected, your footage is already waiting for you.
Not editing FPV videos from the car anymore. It sounds like we're going to have them in our timeline when we get home.
Bro, like it's fucking cool.
I have to edit and drive at the same time.
Just have your laptop right here. Fucking
Spagoose does that shit.
Yeah, I've done it. I know you've
What's
done
up, Asylum?
I've done it. Yeah, I did it last night, actually.
Cloud gaming's dope. But I mean, I'm with you. And honestly, when I was in Vegas, I almost rented a system where I could set up Resolve, because I was editing in Vegas and I was on my laptop and I didn't really have enough juice, and I was like, shit, I could just rent a system and fucking work off the cloud. Run Resolve, cloud.
I mean, if some big ass tech company really gave a shit, they could probably give us some seriously awesome
Amazon's
stuff
already starting, or Amazon web services have a ton of fucking shit you can get a hold of. And you told me some other ones, Risco. I don't remember.
For what?
For renting systems. For basically renting an online system.
Oh, yeah, but AWS is like the most expensive. So there's like fucking 5 or so other companies that are like the same sort of, but just way cheaper GPU.
Of course,
types.
Amazon's expensive.
But you get a GPU attached and shit. So it's not always like you might not be able to do what you want with it.
It's not always the best environment, but Resolve runs on Linux, so it's not a problem.
Well, yeah, it's like headless though. It's like you get like a Linux command line with a GPU attached. So
right.
You'd have to write like a fucking
API.
wrapper or something. Yeah, and have that be a dedicated server or whatever. You have to do similar shit with AWS too, so that's not like.
Well, I know some cats though, because I was reading a guy was doing is like they basically set up an environment, installed Resolve or Premiere or something, and fucking rented. I want a couple fucking whatchamacallits.
It was me that told you about this. There's a service on AWS. You pay, I don't know what it is, but you get like a desktop that pops up, and it's a pretty powerful machine. You can do whatever you want on it. It's I think it's geared more towards like VFX artists and shit like that.
Right. And I was looking at that's why when I was going, it was salty. That's the only reason why I ended up not doing it. I just struggled while I was gone.
Yeah. There's another cloud GPU provider I use called Shadow. It's dope. That probably will work for you. It's like $30 a month.
That's not terrible.
I think it's like you got to pay for the whole month.
And then Google has their what the hell is it called? It's you basically rent. For 10, 20, 30, depending what you want to get, whatever, 100, you can go crazy. But Google has their collaboration thing where a lot of the new AI systems are running off of it, where you can, if you want to use a certain model, there's one called Disco Diffusion. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's actually it's a diffusion model, but it's for video, and you basically just you basically get what the hell is it called? I have it probably on my computer. It's a Google workspace basically, and then you can
collab.
The collab, and then you can basically say I want to use the heavy duty fucking GPUs and this and that to crunch my AI, and you just feed it the video, tell it what you're doing, enter your prompts, and hit go. Yeah,
that's a super dope thing that Google did. It's like crazy free GPU, and then mostly it was being used by AI artists and shit. Like most of the AI art you see is done on there, unless it was Midjourney or something.
Right.
And then what they did recently, because I just went back to start using Collab again. If you want to try like new shit, it's a really easy way to just like slap something together and try it. So it's just a fast way to do shit. So they're like limiting now, unfortunately. If they catch you doing too much generative AI, they'll like shut you down, or they'll shut your instance down, because so many people were fucking running these like super long processes.
I was running a pretty crazy one. It was originally meant
for like data science and like curing cancer and shit.
Right.
People are making like dick pictures with it and stuff. So.
I tried to do this crazy, like it was my video file was too long to begin with, and then I was trying to do this crazy, and I cut some stills off of it, and it looked fucking sick. But so I started trying to leave it generate, and I left it overnight, and they shut me down overnight. I was like, God damn it! I woke up and I was like,
you can pay the most expensive plan you can buy. You can let like background tasks will run and shit, but there is better ways to do it. What you're trying, like you can run collabs on another service that is like they'll let you do more. You have to pay them, but it's not too much. They have some weird rules and shit though. I don't know. There's fucking problem with AI. It's like, when you first got into FPV, you're like, oh my God, there's so many different motors and 3-inch and 5-inch and Betaflight and this and that. It's like that times a fucking 1,000, dude. It's like overload, dude. Like I had to make like fucking a database to track fucking cool shit that's come out recently. To keep track of it. Crazy shit.
Chad, check chat.
Yeah, man, for sure. Oh shit.
That's cool.
Right on. We will do that, actually. We'll keep talking.
Cloud shit is dope. I wonder, like, because every technology, like, it goes in cycles. So, like, in 5 years, we're going to say cloud is fucking stupid. Why do we want to do that or something? I'm just wondering where this is all going to go.
Where it's next.
I mean, when quantum computing becomes a thing,
the
latency of clouds won't matter because it's all going to be instantaneous anyway.
Right.
Well, yeah, quantum computing will fucking... We won't even need computers at the house. Everything will just be quantum. I want AI, it's just there. It's just there. Fucking... Oh, we're gonna throw some videos up while we keep chatting here.
Yeah.
Pull this down a little bit. Fuck yeah, bro. It's cool. And I mean, like you said, I think that what I think is dope is like people like Chris Teal starting to integrate, and I've seen a few other people do it, but starting to integrate some things into their FPV footage. I think it's really cool. Like personally,
Yeah.
it's different.
Oh,
You know,
that Kyber AI, that's what most people are using.
yeah, that's what Chris used, and that's what. So that was crazy. So Chris went flying, and then hit me up, and I started coloring some of his footage. And then I sent it back, and then I come back, and he's like, "Look what I did!" And he had taken everything and put it through Kyber. So then I'm like, "Cool, give me that." And then I fucking recolored it, and rendered it out as an HD HDR video. So I transformed it from standard definition. The one thing I'm trying to learn is what is the best math to use to do the conversion from their image model to the color science I'm trying to use. I'm pretty close, but it's not an exact science yet. But it was fucking fun, dude. And then when I once I rendered it and looked at it in HDR, I was like, holy shit! Like, it's so colorful. Like, the colors were mind bending. You know, the way it fucking popped. You know, I was just like, what? From where it all started. You know, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Has anybody had any issue buying FPV parts, or was that whole China lockdown not that big of a deal?
No, it didn't affect me at all because I wasn't buying anything.
You haven't been buying anything?
Man,
I'm not buying shit either. I need some fucking Rotorite top plates and shit, but other than that,
I need new batteries really bad right now.
I'm not really even sweating it this minute because fucking winter's about to hit, and then it's diminished. And if I do crash, it'll be in snow. So
usually I recycle batteries every season. I'll get my summer packs, and then I get my fucking winter packs, and then
I'm due for
those last all the way until summer, and then I buy summer packs again.
I bought 8 of those GNB high volt packs with the Matty Blunts discount code way back in fucking February or some January, and I'm still flying those bitches. I had 4 other packs besides that, and they're all still good.
Bro, if you keep them in storage, if you keep it, I pulled out a bunch of 4S packs that I had sitting for fucking ages and charged them up, and they were fine. I had a couple that were duds, basically. They would charge and they just didn't perform well or for very long. But for the most part, most of my batteries were fine. When I had switched from 4S to 6S, I had just gotten a bunch of 4S batteries not that long ago. It was mid-season. I just bought 10 or 12 4S packs, and then mid-season I switched to 6S, and so I just put all the 4S on storage, and most of them were pretty much brand new, and I didn't touch them for fucking 2 or 3 years almost. And then one day I needed them, and I started pulling them out, and I'm like, holy shit, they all work fine, for the most part.
Is this Tree World?
It is.
This is from Ghost in the Shell.
Getting good, man. Darkwood.
Tech would know what this music is right off the top of his head, I bet.
I went to a pinball fucking arcade the other night, which is a big warehouse with you pay $20 and there's 50 pinball machines on free play.
Fuck yeah.
And they had a Primus machine.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. It was I don't know, I was kind of let down as a pinball fan, but as a Primus fan, it was fucking cool. But it was a really old school, kind of dumb pinball machine where you just bounce off the things in the middle. Mm-hmm. It wasn't it didn't have ramps or anything like that. I just thought it was really whack as a game, but it was cool because it was Primus.
Have you ever been out to Vegas and gone to there's a pinball fucking museum out there. It's awesome. I've
been not to that though, but yeah, I've seen they have crazy arcades and shit in Vegas.
It used to be one spot. They moved it. They actually moved it, but it's still out there. I went to it when my friend Bruce was out there working for Cher or somebody, and I was out there for something else, and we ended up going to the where it used to be. But then they got a great new like big location. It's not far from the Sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check it out if you ever get out there. If you like pinball,
I gotta go out there.
They have
someday,
fucking every classic rock and roll. They had like Aerosmith's fucking pinball games and like every classic rock and roll.
The other night I played the Rush one.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
They had Aerosmith, but it wasn't assembled. It was like in the hallway. They had a Foo Fighters. They had a shitload of them. Primus. Yeah, Fly High, fucking, he's playing here Saturday night with the Frog Brigade. I don't know if I'm going to try to go to it, but... Yeah, that's a lot of times. I've seen him once live.
I've seen Primus a ton myself. I'm actually really good friends with one of the technicians that works for Les.
Dope.
My friend Tim, him and I did Sheryl Crow, and he's been taking care of Les for fucking years and years. Les and fucking those guys. He used to go fishing with Les.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just say he used to go fishing with Les all the time, which I was
That's
like completely like awesome. Fucking like, come on, fucker.
Was it at Rancho Relacto?
I don't. I'm not exactly sure where it was at, to be honest. But
I mean, I don't even know where that is. It's just they always talk about it in their liner notes and shit. I saw him once with Bucket of Burning Brains in Rhode Island, which is a pretty rare show to see. So I'm pretty happy I got to see it in that way. But I've never seen Primus, even though they're like one of my favorite bands I've ever seen. It's in Connecticut.
I haven't been to a concert in fucking like 15 years.
The last concert I've been was one that I was on stage, like, like I never go.
It's like, yeah, I was just on stage.
Fucking, I very rarely go to concerts that I'm not working. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like my friends would come through like New York or something, and then every once in a while I'd go and hang out at front of house with whoever I knew or whatever, but like generally speaking, it's too much like work. You know, except there's some bands like, bro, I always try to like catch like Queens of the Stone Age, Primus, fucking, you know, certain bands that like, you know, I don't know if you're hip to Mogwai. Mogwai is one of my favorite bands, and
I know the name.
That's
cool.
I've done a lot of shows with those guys back in the day. But if those guys ever come through, like, they're the homies, you know, so, like, dude, and, like, fucking, I love Queens of the Stone Age, but those dudes are just fucking rad. Like, my favorite show I've ever seen at Queens was in Paris. I was out there with Interpol, actually, and I went to the Louvre and then went to see Queens that night. It was a fucking blast. Such a good time.
I'm here. I got my thing on, my earphones in. I'm here. So yeah, I used to work a lot of metal and hardcore shows. Like I did like merch. I would hand out flyers, CDs. I'd fill in, play bass and shit like that to help load and unload and whatever. And like going to any kind of heavy metal show or hardcore show is like just reminds me of like selling T-shirts and shit.
I used to fucking go to hardcore shows at this skate park that I used to skate at every day. That was fun.
That's cool.
The fucking hardcore show would be going on the fucking, they had like this like, it was like a stage, but it also had grind rails on it and shit. Like, on the lip of it, so like we used it as a fucking, something to skate on when they weren't playing shows, but it was like right there on the skate park, and you could fucking just people ripping, and there was fucking metal mosh pits going on in the fucking other side of the skate park. You'd fucking do a kickflip into the fucking crowd, and it didn't fucking matter.
Nice. That shit was fun.
The OG Mogwai.
But I think like once it became work though, then it was like
if you like some chill, like trippy, cool ass, like kind of acid rocky music, check out Mogwai. They're out of Scotland. They're fucking awesome. They're fucking really good. Mogwai. They're a really great band. Real fucking cool stuff.
Looks like you're pouring that into nothing.
Yeah, I just poured it all over myself.
Because it was blurred out, so it looked like you were legit pouring that into air.
Yeah, I was always bummed. I could never work for Primus because they didn't need my skill set. I was always like, Tim, you got to give me a gig at Primus. He's like, he won't use playback, bro. Like, fucking, I always did like fucking. They don't use synthesizers normally, and they don't use sequencing. It's all live played, so like they don't need me. So I could never get a job with them, but
they're a pretty like meat and potatoes band.
I love Primus.
Yeah, for sure. I got a chance.
Sucks.
I was in Vegas as a kid on vacation with my parents in like '93, and Primus had just played the day before, and the signs and shit were still up.
Oh yeah.
So I could have seen him in '93 in Vegas.
That's what they were. '93, they were out on Lollapalooza.
Maybe '94, maybe I don't know.
No, I'm just saying they were. There's a good chance. I mean, they were on Lollapalooza that summer, but they were touring that year. Yeah. Because I saw him at Lollapalooza in '93.
That's a sick video. I don't even have to watch Wild's video to see if it's any good. I just know this dude's coming out with fire cinematic shit.
I mean, my favorite show of all time was the very first Lollapalooza. I mean, it was just a magical fucking day. I don't know what else to say. Fucking Susie and the Banshees, fucking 9 Inch Nails, fucking Jane's Addiction, Henry Rollins. It was a fucking amazing ass day. Fucking Ice-T and Body Count, bro. Like, let's fucking go. The Butthole Surfers, Emergency Broadcast Network. There was so many fucking cool fucking artists there that day. It was so good.
Now, what is real? What up, Gearhead?
I mean, nowadays I want to go to like drum and bass parties and shit like that and fucking whatever. And I just have never been to shit like. I mean, I have been to a few like years ago. So I got to figure out where they're at. I think Boston, like every Sunday night.
There's some good drum and bass in New York.
And then there's another like 2 nights in New York. There's like regular spots or whatever. And then there's regular shows and shit. So I was trying to like find the like where do they post the shows and shit.
They do a World of Drum and Bass in New York every once in a while. It's been a while since.
I found them.
I actually got pissed off at them because I tried to take my son to a World of Drum and Bass, but it wasn't listed in we got there and they wouldn't let him in even with me because he wasn't 21 yet. He was 20.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, come on. I was like, number one, I'm his fucking dad. Like, I'm his actual father. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna let him do something like fucking crazy. Like, I was mad. I was angry. But honestly, when you were hanging out with me in New York, we should have just got my decks out and let it rip because I have a whole rig and fucking.
There was no way we had enough time, dude.
I know,
There's so much shit we could have done, dude.
We already the modular was enough.
It was. I know. And I really only barely scratched the surface of that fucking thing.
You see that thing I'm working on right now with that group of cats? So there's a group there's a group on Facebook. It's called the Grouch, and we're cloning the Oxford Oscar synthesizer, which is very. I don't know if you ever listened to Orbital at all, but there's a lot of Oscar and Orbital. It's a gnarly synthesizer. There's only like 1,000 of them ever made. It was made by a really, really talented guy named Chris Huggett, who's passed away now. And they're uber like fucking hard to get parts for. They're failing all over. So it was, I was actually in a fucking chat on Facebook. We were talking about Behringer cloning the VCS3. We were just talking about cloning in general. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, the VCS3 clone from Behringer might actually push me over the edge to get one because I don't normally support them. But they were talking about cloning something else, and then I was like, yeah, some clones I'm totally down with, like, I was like, I really wish somebody would clone the Oxford Oscar. And this other dude chimes in. He's like, dude, I have a friend that's trying to do that. And I'm like, no shit. I was like, I have an Oscar, so I can get dimensions and map it out. But I need a new control board because I had some damage. And he's like, dude, he's already started the control board. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So I started mapping out the fucking mechanicals and drawing it in CAD. And he's already getting the PCBs put together. It's insane. So we're gonna fucking put out this crazy clone synthesizer that's gnarly.
I'm looking at it, the original now.
Dude, the Oscar.
That's fucking dope.
You should listen to it. It's fucking. It's a gnarly. So it's an additive.
I'll just sample the YouTube video.
It's an yeah, dude. It's an additive synthesizer model with a fucking analog. It's an analog low pass. Actually, it's an analog multi-mode filter. It could do low pass, band pass, or high pass. But it's two filters that you can sweep between series and parallel. So you can stack them to make it a single low band, high pass, 24 dB per octave roll off, really aggressive fucking filter. Or you can spread them apart and make them run in parallel. And it just sounds gnarly because each one, they're not tuned 100% the same, so each one has like some funk to it, dude. And it's nasty. It's a 21 harmonic additive synthesizer engine, kind of like a B3, but it has fucking this crazy analog system on. It's nuts. It's a crazy synth, man.
Yeah, I got a video up. I'll listen to it after. Or no, probably sample it too.
We should. It's a rad synth.
Yeah, I've used a soft synth with two filters like that.
Well, there is.
Yeah, you use them together. It's really weird. It's not both of them added together. It like becomes something. Else.
Well, there's a company that made a copy of it called the Imposker, and you can get it. You could probably find a fucking crack. It's actually dope. If you.
Oh, it's software, yeah.
Yeah, there's a software VST for it.
You know what I've been doing lately is not using any plugins. Like I use what comes with the DAW.
Right.
And then I have two plugins that I use. One of them I bought called Halftime that does like weird time groove shit. It's using like 90% of hip hop songs. If I showed it to you, you'd be like, oh, that's how they do that. The other one is like
is it
a rhythmic filter? That's it. There's everything else stock.
Is Halftime actually, speaking of plugins though, you ever mess with Sugar Bytes?
No.
You should check that shit out. Sugar Bytes has got some sick the way you can sequence the effects, it's sick. You should check it out. It's like a step sequencer for effects. It's called the Sugar Bytes Electrics. You should check that out. But anyways, Halftime, is that a paid plugin or is that like a...
Yeah, it's paid. It's like Cable Guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it really just, it takes your, whatever you give the audio track, it plays it back at half speed and like half time. And what you do is like, if you're stale with a song, like you wrote a song and like, it's all like fast and shit, but after like a while you don't like it.
You just throw it in there.
Halftime,
right?
It makes a whole different thing. Yep. And then there's a filter, so you can say under 600 hertz is low time, and over 600 hertz is full
speed. Right on.
And so it's a fast tool to be able to do these like effects, and I'll write like a fast.
You could do that in Ableton though.
Fast like a.
You could do that in live.
You can totally do it in every DAW with like by hand, but
it just automates it for you.
Like, yeah, you get like one knob. And
I mean, Ableton's pretty instant, bro. It's like literally, I want it to be halftime, or I want it to be, and then stacking and doing filtering like that is all pretty straightforward as well. But
yeah,
and you could link it. You could link it.
It's just a fast way to do it.
Sure.
I think people use it in Ableton. I'm not sure.
They might.
I use it in FL.
You use Fruity Loops. It was like Fruity Loops is up to like what? Fucking what's the version
21.
of? Huh?
21.
It's 21, right? That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
I saw a video on Fruity Loops the other day talking about the guy who designed it. Like had no music background whatsoever. And in the back of my mind, I said like, "Fuck, that's so bad for like the."
There was another program that was similar to Fruity Loops back when Fruity Loops came out. It was called Orion. And bro, it was so much. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot better than Fruity Loops. It was, and I think it's dead now, but man, it was the shit. It was the absolute shit. Yeah, it was very similar to Fruity Loops, but it was called Orion Pro, I think.
I'm looking at it now.
It was a dope program, man. The way it worked, it was just so good.
Dude, FL is the shit, and I'm not saying it's like the right tool for everybody or whatever.
I like it. I'll give you shit for it, but I like it. I've used it a lot.
I get it. But I mean, there's shit. I've been using it for over 20 years straight. There's some shit in there I can show you. It's super dope.
It's been a grip since I've actually. I should really check it out again. I haven't fucked with it in a long time. It was great to write stuff, and then I would throw it in Ableton, and I could just retime and do everything else I needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like not the timeline, like the piano roll and like laying the notes out is so much better than Ableton.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Again, it's been a grip since I haven't used Fruity Loops since probably like, I don't know, 2000 and something, 2002.
Yeah.
2000. I don't even know. I used to use it a lot, way back.
Yeah, I love it. I use Ableton too, but it's like an instrument for me. So like, I don't know. Even if it's whack, if it was whack, I still want to use it.
No, I mean, if it's a good instrument and you find value in it, it's totally fine. Like it's great. You know, like when I started doing professional, like when I was growing up and starting, I was on every Whereas site I could find and grabbing every bootleg version I could find, just because I couldn't afford it, And then when I started doing music professionally, I was in a situation sometimes where I was working with clients, I couldn't afford to have cracked programs on my shit, so like I had to go legit, and I've just been pretty much legit ever since. And so I just, if I don't like, if it's not something that's super immediate for me, I just don't buy it, and then I just don't use it. So
right.
And honestly, bro, that's where the modular came in. Like I was working on music professionally all the time. I hated sitting in front of my computer to write music. So creating the modular and building the modular system and all that got me away from the screens, at least for some portion of my musical journey.
Moar, dude,
this is dope, man.
video.
It was killer.
I was just gonna say, dude, that shit is dope.
Dude, I was like fucking hypnotized by that.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Chilling here. That was really good.
I stopped listening to it. I was like, wait, what are we talking about? At the end there with the lattice or whatever.
Moar, you're always holding out on the best spots. Where was that?
I love seeing people writing music for their, like you're doing, Risco, like seeing people writing music for their FPV videos is like the best shit ever.
It's fucking hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard, dude. Like, what happens to me now is that I have so many songs, but no flights. Like, I gotta fly better. Right. I'll get a song, especially if there's like, I don't know, every musician, like, they always love their most recent song. They think it's like the best song they ever wrote. And, like, that's why they wrote it.
Right.
So I'll write something, I'll write music, and I'll be like, especially if I like it a lot.
Right.
Then it's like 3 weeks of torture to get a good enough pack. You know what I'm saying? And I make my videos, like, I don't care if I'm like, my music's not fucking top 40 or no one listens to it outside of FB. I really don't care. This is like what I like to do. But yeah, like, I want to use other people's songs and shit. Like, I want to use like regular music, but then I kind of can't stop using just my own shit,
Oh, what's up, Gearhead? I didn't see you sneak in, man. What's going on? Yeah, I can't wait to get my studio set back up and get the modular back in working. I know I'm gonna have to do a little maintenance on it because it's been sitting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. That's what I was telling Greg. Is like, I can't wait to get set back up. So like some nights I've got nothing else to do. We'll just do a jam.
Yeah, have you tried on Zoom that setting for musicians? Have you seen that?
Yeah, it should be enabled. Yeah, it's enabled actually for you right now. Should be.
Oh. Okay. Have you tried it for like latency reasons? Like, have you tried to jam on it?
I haven't necessarily tested it. No, on my main streaming rig, it was pretty good. Like me and Vince used to jam all the time. Like, yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely want to try it. I want to try like fuck. We have to sync MIDI and shit too. Like.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Over there.
It would be cool if you could use Ableton Sync over. You should be. I wonder if you could. I mean, it'd be amazing if it just had two hard lines and you could just fucking, lock your IPs in and call it. They'd be just.
I mean, I've done it with MIDI cables, like in physical, same room. It's got to be possible.
Well, there's definitely MIDI transport protocol, so it's like. It's possible. I just never tried doing it like, cross country.
Right. But now that we all have like gig internet and shit like that, it'll probably work.
It would be interesting to see, like, I'm sure there would be a little bit of alignment that would need to get done initially, just to get the offset dialed in. But I
think
it
should do that. The software should do that.
One side should be that. Well, you generally have to set some up depending on what it is and what all it is.
Oh, okay. I see. You mean like with our music shit? I see.
Well, yeah. Basically, because generally somebody's going to end up being the host. They'll be the host clock, right? Whatever the host clock is, and then you have to, due to propagation delay, you have to basically set it up so that if you want the downbeats all to line up, you need to fucking tweak the latency, basically. A lot of times what I would do is I would play a click track, and then I haven't done stuff like necessarily over the internet, but when I was doing stuff like in the same local network, I would send a click track, get another click track going, and then align them based on the offset. You know what I mean? And then that way when I hit go, everything would start together.
So we're like beat matching two house music records.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
And then we don't want to mess it up because it'll be like
it's like a train wreck, galloping horses.
That's essentially, to anyone that's listening, that's what we're talking about.
Flying to a click track is awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
one of the things I did last week or two was start flying to good music, and which I usually do, but I haven't been. It makes such a fucking difference.
I mean, that's why it's dope to use. I mean, even like techno, because techno, like, there's a good tempo range, and it's pretty much a click track. You know what I mean? Like, it's anything four on the floor is fucking.
One of the big reasons I like electronic music to fly to is because it's basically a click track. It doesn't have crazy key changes or like fucking time signature changes like Tool does or something like that. Right.
Yeah, and it's just a vibe usually. It's not like a big emotional fucking message.
I usually fly to drum and bass. I usually fly to drum and bass.
Drum and bass
editing the video later so much fucking easier, because then you can just pick any song of that genre that you like or feeling for that moment and be like, wow, this really works.
Well,
boom, send it.
The best part about drum and bass is that you can drop into hip hop territory super quick if you don't want to keep that high energy, thing, because it's basically dual time at all times. So, if you're
what I'm listening to,
if you're listening to drum and bass at 180, you can fit something in at 90 all day long, or or play with it from there.
Since I fly fast, I think drum and bass goes good for me.
Same.
It's because I'm just saying the most appealing part sometimes is just how fast I'm going.
Every video that I've ever actually put out has got drum and bass in the background when I'm coming and going. You can always hear it.
I listen to drum and bass when I want to fly aggressively.
I use future bass.
I listen to drum and bass all randomly.
The time. And future bass is like Ladrib kind of music, but with a little bit more of a beat to it. And for some reason, I don't listen to it normally ever, but the pack I'll fly to that is usually pretty good.
This dude reps.
That's a cool intro.
Yeah, he always has cool intros to his videos. I like that. That little touch he does.
You still
Nice
playing
control
fucking
there.
oh, what the hell's the space game?
Star Citizen?
Star Citizen, yeah.
No, I played it at Super Deluxe's house, but after that, not at all. Like, we did a stream expecting it to go fucking horribly.
I saw part of it, yeah.
Okay. And it didn't break, really.
That's
it was
cool.
Surprising. But there's just, like, I'm just bored with it. I still play a lot of Heroes of the Storm. I don't know why. It's like a fucking...
I was gonna hop on the new Diablo season, and I was sitting there last night thinking because I like downloaded the update, and then I was like, for some reason I had this feeling I should just like check like what people were saying, and a bunch of people were saying there was all sorts of technical problems, and people were like having all sorts of struggles and shit, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with that tonight. I'm gonna just go play something else like mindless and not worry about it.
Totally. Man, a lot of the games I play, there's like so little gameplay in it. Like EVE Online, you can wait all day and not even like leave the space station shooting anything.
Right.
And I'm like, why the fuck do I play these games, dude? And then so that's why I play a game like Heroes of the Storm. You can log in, play 20 minutes, be done.
What? Dude, that was sick.
That was sick. Fucking that's why I play Valorant, because sometimes I just want to shoot people mindlessly and not really worry about anything. Yeah. It doesn't have any progression, so you're not like grinding necessarily towards anything. I mean, there might be some cosmetic shit you can earn by playing, but other than that,
oh, that was fucking dope.
That was nasty.
I think you guys saw the same thing I saw, but you're late.
Were you almost hit the ground?
No, he did something and then he like went backwards out the way he came. It was like
one
long ass fucking rewind.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
This fob, man. This dude
he's
is
dope. Yeah, he's good.
Real good.
I'm so behind the times.
That was dope. Fly High's playing Starfield. You're playing. I haven't gotten into Starfield yet. I figured I'd wait.
I played the shit out of it, and I ain't gonna spoil nothing for you. And I ain't even gonna give you my opinion on it.
I played. I was actually gonna hop back on Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, which, if you like mindless hack and slash, that game is a lot of fun. But I haven't actually. I was playing the shit out of that. I play Hell Let Loose and Squad sometimes. I play fucking some of the Warhammer games. And I hadn't played Diablo in ages. I hopped on 4, played it, got tired of it, stopped, waited for the next season to hit, played the beginning of that, got bored, stopped, and now there's a new season out that supposedly has more shit to do. So I was like, yeah, that's cool.
I only play bad games, Guild Wars 2 and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of good.
Factorio is a great fucking game. I gotta say, it's like a few years old now, but it's a factory building game. It's all in 2D, like old school graphics.
Dude, there is
but it is
sorry,
super complicated.
I was about to answer your question in the chat. Actually, I just saw an update for Splitgate like yesterday, so I have Splitgate. We should play that some night.
I wanted to like it. I don't know why I never. Maybe I'll try it again. Sometimes you just gotta like try it again.
Well, the reason why I play Valorant is because it's fun. It's not too deep, but if you're good at strategy in gunfighting, it can be a lot of fun actually. Because like I like That's what that's what I like to do. I don't just rush out and start blasting.
Dude, I can't play that game. Remember, I stayed up till 6 in the morning one time
trying to play it that one. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah,
can't
dude,
play it.
I still
can't play it. Sorry,
you can't run it, or you just can't play it.
Cannot run it. The anti-cheat does not work with the cloud shit that I do, and I'm not getting the fucking graphics card just to play it. So.
Yeah, it's not even that fucking graphics heavy.
Oh no, I know, but I mean, I just don't have any juice. 1070 that I can barely use, but
I'll run it. I run it on a my main gaming
GPU, bro. It's an eGPU.
Oh right, I forgot about that. You're right.
I'm just never playing Valorant. I'll play it at I'll come to your house and play it someday. I mean, I did. It would run. I did get it to run for like 5 minutes until I got kicked out.
Well, the new Rosetta on the new Macs is doing pretty good actually for gaming.
But nothing will take the NVIDIA card.
Yeah.
Like on a Mac, that's the real problem. I used to dual boot Windows.
Well, I know, and that was part of their when they started trying to crack down on Hackintoshing. Some people are still running AMD, but when they switched to Metal, it fucked NVIDIA. When they switched to AMD and Metal, they fucked NVIDIA. And it fucked Hackintoshing, and it fucked fucking eGPUs and a bunch of other shit on Apple. That's why I'm just not like... If you're gonna buy an Apple, buy the best fucking Apple that you can possibly buy and use it for as long as you can. You know, but anything less is just generally not worth it. Like, I'm way overdue for a MacBook upgrade myself, bro, and like, it's just hard to part with that cash.
Specific shit that I do, I have to have a Mac. But the good news is that that's what I like, even though whatever. But even though it might not be the best, like.
Hey, look, it's a Sony. What the hell is this? 3 hours of detailed information about Sony cameras. Sorry, let me just turn this off.
Oh, is that a random video of the week?
Yeah, the random video of the week was something about the Sony P. What the hell camera is that? When is this even from? Some Sony camera. I don't even know. Yeah, man, I fucking I used to Hackintosh. Like, I still have a Hackintosh that I keep because I keep it going because I have a video program called VDMX, which is one of my favorite programs, and I run it on my laptop. But my desktops just run circles around my laptop, so like, just fucking
totally.
Plus, I needed when I was running VDMX and I was doing raves, I needed like 4 to 6 outputs. Because I was driving video walls, like giant video walls, and I needed like all the fucking resolution I could get. So I was running like at any given time, I was running anywhere from like, to be honest, I was running anywhere from 4 to 8 outputs off my system. That's why I always built dual GPU systems, because I needed all the fucking I/O I could get. And
I see. Yeah, you can't do that with Mac. I mean, yeah, no, you can't do that.
I even have a thing where, so I have a quad demux, so where I can take a 4K signal off a video card, and I could split it into 4 1080 SDI feeds. So what I would do is I would take a single output running 4K, quad it out into 4 1080s, and then I could run those out SDI lines to the video wall processors.
That's cool. I didn't know you can do that. That's
it's a demux. It's literally just fucking splits it, and then I'd use my video mapping software, my projection mapping software, to do all the geometry adjustments, and it was pretty sick. It's a good. I miss doing raves, but man, you're literally out there getting your head kicked in from a kick drum like for fucking 12 to 18 hours on some days because of the whole thing. Like if it starts at like noon and then ends at like 4 or 5 in the morning, you're like, dude, like on the festivals, bro, it's just like, yo. And thankfully a lot of DJs will have VJs, so you'll get breaks. You know what I mean? Like, so like some of the DJs will come in and they'll have their own VJ. So you just literally have a, tie-in cables, and you're just like, here you go, bro. You tie them in, make sure they're good, and then you fucking go back and kick it or whatever. But bro, it's long days, and I love it, but you come out like you feel like you're tripping when you leave because you're like just fucking. You've been like we'd be in front of house like fucking burning the whole day long, just like fucking staring at the screens and fucking jamming, dude. That was a gig. Like I was literally out there just fucking like fucking, you know, like fucking all day long, bro. It was nuts. It was a good time though. Like, and then you just get trippy because, like, you know, I've got all these real-time video processing filters, so I'm just like doing like, you know, all sorts of fractal and like fucking what the hell's that one called? Something etra. No, it's called something etra, and I can't remember the first half of the word, but it's a crazy video filter that will let you take 2D. You can kind of like plane it, and then you can stretch it out 3-dimensionally. So you could take somebody's face, and all of a sudden their eyes come out of their head and back, and you can like I would fucking throw LFOs on it, so like parts of their fucking anatomy were like stretching out, but it takes a 2D image, it's called Rut Etra. That's what it's called. Google it. Rut Etra. It's actually super dope. It's an amazing video synthesizer, and it's fucking they have a plugin, and you could, you know, you would take a 2D image, and then it literally puts it on an image plane, but then takes each pixel and lets you extrude it. It's fucking bananas, dude. It's so.
Is there like oh shit, that's cool as fuck. Yeah, I'm doing it live right now. Yeah. Yeah, it makes like a bump map it makes like a depth map almost, kind of.
Yeah. So I would.
So then you can like make these into particles and manipulate.
Oh, you can do all sorts of shit, bro. Yeah. Well, and VDMX ran on VDMX will allow you to write your own Quartz plugins. So you could go into Quartz, which was an Apple thing, which they also killed, which fuck Apple for that. But Quartz was an object-oriented programming language where you could build all these fucking like video filters with these Legos that you know in code, and then you could package them and load them into VDMX, and then use them on whatever video you were doing at the time, like whatever you were doing. And you could also integrate like Xbox Connect cameras, so you could grab depth map image from the infrared sensor on the fucking Xbox, and then you could use those for masking. So I could have projectors like up on truss, and I could fucking use the Xbox camera to get an image mask of a dancer, and then project onto the dancer, and it would perfectly map to them. It was fucking so cool, so bugging, bro. Like, you could also like I'd have dancers up on the walls, and I'd use the Xbox cam to track them, and then I would set them on fire and shit. And it was just like it was fucking dope because you could use the image mask as your generation plane for the fucking fire effect. And so you could be like, yeah, I want the fire to start right on their arms and be like, you know, whatever you can think of, bro. Like it's sick, like. That was the shit I was into. That's what I was doing. I was doing heavy in New York for a while, actually, before I ended up managing gigs. So it wasn't as creative anymore. But yeah, that was the thing.
It's crazy.
No Man's Sky. I waited for No Man's Sky for fucking ages, and it's kind of like what I'm doing with Starfield. Like with Bethesda, I love their games. They're usually buggier than hell for the first X amount of time. So
their bugs are acceptable in my opinion because they're almost features, but I don't know.
But I mean, there was
Starfield is just fucking like it's like a shell of what a Bethesda game is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Fallout in space, basically, to some degree, without VATS.
Fallout had more depth than Fly it's shallow. You'd think it was this big, expansive game, but it's really not that big. The way that it's laid out makes it seem huge because there's all these like planets you can go to and you fly in space, but they're full of nothing, mostly.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's their. I would expect them to grow it to some degree, you know, but it is.
Oh, they will for sure. They plan to.
I mean, you remember how bad Fallout 76 was when it came out? Oh my god, that shit was
still is pretty bad.
I liked it after a while. I enjoy it. I'm not, you know, like we would sit there especially when the nukes would come in and shit. Like, it was so. That was fun. Like we just sit there watching the nukes.
I still play that from time to time. they don't add really much to it lately, so I haven't really
District 9 level bugs.
Oh yeah, I would agree on that. But they made some interesting choices with the design of certain features or systems, like
It's Diet Bethesda.
like you can rob any vendor, or not any vendor, but a lot of vendors in the game, just by like accidentally falling through the fucking map and then walking under where the fucking vendor is. And for some reason, they decided it was a good design choice to put all of the vendors' money, items, and shit in a fucking chest
that you could just
under
rob.
the map that you could just rob. Like, what?
That's fucking funny.
What?
That's fucking funny.
That is an interesting design choice.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact they're using the same engine.
I'm gonna get
like
it.
Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 is the same. It's an interesting design choice.
I'll definitely get Starfield at some point. I just didn't want to rush out and worry about it right now. And like, I
have Game Pass. It's basically it's free.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do Game Pass. I'm fucking. To be honest, as big a fan as I am of my PCs for the stuff I do, I just don't really want to support Microsoft any further than Windows. Like,
dude, Microsoft just bought Blizzard.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and now I'm playing fucking Diablo, so I'm fucked either way. But
I just hope Elder Scrolls 6 isn't a fucking disappointment, because
the problem.
That would suck.
Wait, how's PC Game Pass? Is it any good?
Yeah, it's the same as Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
I heard it's like good.
You can get, dude, it's, yeah.
I get all kinds of games for free.
I'm a Steam junkie, bro. I just put a bunch of shit on my wish list on Steam.
Cheap as shit, too.
And then sooner or later it goes on sale for $5 and I get it. And I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. Like, the sales are crazy.
Steam summer sale. Yeah, fucking Black Friday Steam sale, fucking, winter sale. There's always a fucking Steam sale. And chances are something you like is going to be on there for 50, 75% off at some point,
Mm-hmm.
And so I just usually wait. And plus with Skyrim, bro. Skyrim had some fucked up bugs. And the problem is sometimes with Bethesda games, some of the bugs just fucking will stop you dead in your tracks, like progression wise, or if there's something you were trying to do.
Yeah, that you got to get used to quick saving in those games constantly. Even Starfield, you have to.
Yeah.
Star Citizen's way worse. I don't care what problems you guys are talking about. Star Citizen fucking just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I wish you had a.
I'm sure I would love Starfield then with its bugs.
Starfield was definitely. I enjoyed playing it, but like I said to Fly, I hated how they did the new game plus mechanic, and I wish I had known about it before I spent fucking hours collecting everything, building out my outposts, fucking exploring all fucking throughout the fucking galaxy, and then only to find out that game ends and it just starts
completely
all
over
again with nothing. You don't keep anything, not a single fucking thing.
Generally,
except for the powers.
Yeah, I mean, generally you get to keep some stuff. Because, like, think about, like, Elden Ring. Like, New Game Plus, you still had to go...
Elden Ring and New Game Plus is way different than Starfield's New Game Plus. You get to keep everything in Elden Ring, and you can get duplicates of all that shit. In Starfield,
you get to keep your weapons,
everything from you, like your ship, your inventory, your money, fucking... your relationship status with all your companions, your outposts, fucking all the items you've earned, fucking the only thing you keep is your they have these like awaken powers or some shit they give you, and you every iteration you go through, those get stronger. So the meta that people are doing is rush through 10 stages of the main storyline, and then on your 11th playthrough, that's your sandbox playthrough. You do all the side content, all the fucking item hunting. Now, if I'd known that, I would have done that. But usually Bethesda games, I'll do everything that the game has to offer before I really start getting deep into the story.
I just got super gun shy of paying full price for new games, especially live service games, because live service games are live beta tests for like the first 6 months to a year, almost in every case. And like a lot of games that I buy, that I have bought, and that's why I got really like picky. You know, it's like, and that's honestly why I play Valorant a lot, because Valorant was a free game and I put some money into it to help support the devs, you know, when I like something or whatever. But I didn't need to do that. You know, I could have just played it and never gave them a dime, you know. But having said that, you know, I've bought a lot of games on release, and some of them worked out better than others. But a lot of them, man, you get them and you're like, it's a fucking disaster.
Yeah,
that's why I like Game Pass.
And then you're like,
they'll release a lot of new releases. You could just try them and be like, oh, this game fucking.
Yeah, I'm going through the list now. I'm only at like the J's in the list, and there's like I already saw like 10 games I'd like to play, but never would buy them. I'm not paying $60 for some.
Well, that's the thing though. But with Game Pass is cool. It's just like PlayStation Network. As long as you're paying for it, you get to keep playing them, you know, or whatever. But you never actually own them, you know. And so for me, it's like, you know, I've just always been like, yeah, if I'm interested in something, I'll throw it on my fucking Steam wish and just wait, you know.
You don't technically own them if you buy them from Steam anyway.
What do you mean?
You don't own digital content. They could take that shit away from you anytime they want.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
They could turn off your phone too if they wanted to, but I mean, they just don't.
I've had games that I bought that they've fucking taken off the Steam store, and you can't play them anymore if you uninstall it from your system.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a thing. But a lot of times with those games, the servers are also shut down, so it doesn't matter. Kind of like fucking
right,
like H1Z1. You know, they fucking shut that shit down.
Did they shut that down?
I think there was a.
I'm not surprised.
There was a console.
Sucks.
There was a console port for a while, but there was a game that yes, I play this and I used to play all the time called. So there was H1Z1, the fucking, which was the battle royale, and then there was H1Z1's Just Survive, which was like a survival kind of like fucking Ark and other shit.
That, yeah.
And we used to play that shit all the time, and they would server wipe it every so often. But then finally, ultimately, they got tired of it and they just shut it all down. So we were just like, fuck. We can't play anymore at all. Didn't matter if Steam took it off their store. There was no servers, you know. So like, it didn't matter, you know. But I just like, there's some games I get all hyped about, and I spend, you know, $100 on it, and then you're like, fuck. But at the same time, a lot of those games, you know, a lot of games get turned around in, you know, like I said, 6 months to a year. But then look at Anthem. You remember Anthem? Did you ever play Anthem? Anthem was fucking awesome. And I
played the shit out of it when I first came out, and they were like,
fucking awesome.
Plans for this game.
Yeah, dude, and then they just turned it off. It was like, what the fuck? I spent $70 fucking dollars on this game or whatever, and it was like, what the fuck
hold
are
on,
you doing?
We're going to go get some smokes. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I gotta go get milk, kid. And it had so much potential too. It was such a fucking.
That game was actually mad fun.
Bro, it was like fly around on like Iron Man fucking wrecking shit. It was amazing. Like, it was so fun. It just had nothing. There was just nothing to do except fly around and wreck shit.
They still have servers up. But
is it still on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, dude. Cyberpunk turned around though. I heard. I haven't played.
Yeah, they came out with a recent update, and the game is actually dope as shit now.
I've heard Cyberpunk has actually gotten really good. Yeah.
It has, yeah. I'm in the middle of trying to play it again.
And that's why I don't have, like... I'm not too concerned about Diablo 4, but the reality is there was fucking... When it first came out, there was no end game. There was no end game. Like, there was a couple things
Diablo
you could do.
4?
Yeah, there was no real end game. Like, it was mad fun. The fucking campaign, killer. Like, the first... I would say from level 1 to 50, amazing. Level 50 to 75, pretty good, but you start feeling it a little bit. 75 to 100, you're just like, why am I still doing this? Because there wasn't enough diversity in the dungeons, there wasn't enough diversity in the activities, and there wasn't just enough activities. You basically had nightmare dungeons, the Hell Tides, world bosses, which became a joke, and then the Legion events. And that was it. There was like nothing else really to do. You would run dungeons, you know, and of course it's a dungeon crawler. Of course you're going to run dungeons. But the problem was the dungeons had there was no diversity, like in the design, in the mechanics. There was enough, like, it was like you go in and kill all the mobs, or you go in and find a box and put it on the pedestal. That was like it. There was no like real, like, dude, like something like Destiny where you actually had like puzzles to solve and you had to like find secrets to get through it. Like, there was a challenge there, you know, whereas that made it a little more, it was diverse, you know. But then again, look at Destiny 1. Destiny 1 had no endgame. It was the same shit. There was no endgame in Destiny 1. Like, it just sucked. Destiny 2 changed it, but there's a lot of games like that came out over the years that have endgame problems. And Diablo 4
ESO had endgame problems
yeah.
when it first came out,
ESO.
among many other problems.
Many other.
Its endgame was basically non-existent. It had a couple fucking, I think, trials. I think it was like 1 or 2, and that was it.
Well, when they did season 1 for Diablo 4, they added, so season 1 was called the season of Malignant, and they added these extra dungeons, and they added some extra bosses and things you could do, and some of it was cool for a while, and they added story, which was cool, but again, like by the time I was hitting like level 80, I was like, yeah, do I want to start a new character maybe? Because sometimes that's what you need to do, is just start a new character, like a different class, and just play something different. But you would get in the same loop.
They come out with new stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring on that Elden Ring downloadable content.
Yo, I'm waiting on that fucking DLC for Elden Ring. With fucking, but again, Elden Ring was great. I played through it a few times, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I could play PvP and, you know, fight meta fucking tryhards, or I could just wait. And so I decided
to do New Game Plus on that one, and then I just gave up like quarter of the way through.
I made it around twice, I think, because I basically New Game Plus and then just ripped through the New Game Plus because I was literally missing like 2 weapons for 100%. So I literally just ripped through New Game Plus just to finish it, and then finished it, started it over, started fucking with it again, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till the DLC comes out. But anyways, with Diablo 4, this new update, I think they added 5 new bosses into the equation, and apparently a few other things. And I haven't gotten too deep into it, but Diablo 4 is a game where I think in a year it's going to be awesome. But they fixed the horse. I don't know if you got a horse when you played it, Greg, but. The horse was so... You couldn't go down... Bro, it was faster to walk. Like, when the horse is so fucked up, you can't even fucking, like... You must have just walk. Like, seriously, like... And I was watching somebody play it last night, and they're like, dude, the horse is so much better. But it's... Blizzard... They did it with WoW, man. Blizzard just... I don't know. They're trying to, like, appease the shareholders, and they're not really paying attention to how the game actually works. You know what I mean? There's just like a lot of mechanical problems. It's like, what the fuck? Like, who designed these horse mechanics? And who designed these dungeons that, like, originally they were like, the dungeons are going to be procedurally generated. You're never going to have the same thing twice. Bullshit.
That's why a lot of developers were getting fucking all
burnt out
about fucking Baldur's Gate. Because people were like, oh, look, they can come out with a game. Done.
That's actually
no bugs,
dude. That's actually a full game. Long. It's actually the whole game. Like, yeah, and like Warhammer 40,000 Darktide should have been early access until like now. Like, and that game came out almost a year ago, but it should have been early access. They decided to push it out and get that money, and then the game was a wreck and everybody quit playing it. And then now they're finally getting their player base back because they fucking fixed everything, and it's actually a complete game with like skill trees and all the stuff that you would want in a game like that we're all missing. And like with Diablo 4, each season has been quality of life upgrades that frankly should have been in the game from the day it launched. They should be adding content, not fucking fixing bullshit that should have just worked from the get-go. You know, so like, yeah, it's annoying, and that's why I hate buying games at launch sometimes. Because, dude, look at Kerbal Space Program 2. It's a complete disaster. I don't know if you're into Kerbal Space Program, but that was one of the games that I was looking forward to the most out of any game for the longest time, and I had a funny feeling when it was, and it sucks. Kerbal Space Program was rad, dude. Like, the first one was amazing, but... I don't know, man. It's not even really the devs. It's the company.
Yeah, it's the publishers.
The publishers are just like, it's a money grab. And back when we were growing up, there used to be games, man, where like, you know, like think about it, like even arcade games, like the goal was to try to go in and beat the game with one quarter. You know what I mean? And you know, you were the master if you could go in, walk up to the machine, throw your quarter in it, and just beat the game. You know, but there was a lot more care and like thought in all those games because they weren't these giant epics. So they had to, you know, to keep you coming back to play it again, you know. And so many games come out now and they're just half baked, and the mechanics are half baked, and there's no story, and like it gets frustrating, man. Like Warhammer 40,000 Darktide had no story, literally has no story. There's like no story. It's just like, what the fuck? It's literally like, we're gonna throw you in this, you know, evil city and you just fucking murder everything.
That's like No Man's Sky.
Okay.
When it came out, it was nothing. There was nothing to do.
Nothing to do. Yeah, dude.
Like, oh, I could travel.
I can go through space. You know, that's like if you ever played Elite Dangerous.
I was just gonna say Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous, dude. Just like fly around in space. There's like no story. There's nothing. You're just like flying around. Every once in a while you have some crazy encounter in space and battle it out. But like, yeah, it's fucking insane. Yeah, a lot of people gave up with Cyberpunk, dude. That one turned a lot of people off, man. It did. And I think
I gave up on it and I started trying it again recently, and I'm surprised at how much better it is.
Well, plus everybody was going nuts with ray tracing, and ray tracing just murders your shit, and a lot of it was half-baked tech, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's the new thing. We gotta have ray tracing," you know? And it's like, no,
I give no shit about.
Nobody gives a shit about ray tracing right now. If the game is fundamentally broken, I don't care if you have ray tracing or not, bro. Like seriously, turn that shit off. And that's what I was doing on every game at ray tracing. I'm just turning that shit off, you know, just to get performance because the game isn't optimized. That's the number one problem with gaming today, is that half the games that come out are so badly optimized that you need a supercomputer to remotely run them at a solid frame rate, and it's fucking stupid, you know.
Cough, cough, crisis.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have people that, you know, put out these simple games that are like I said, like Valorant, that's like completely optimized and completely runs smooth, and it's fucking free. Or dude, like Path of Exile. You know, it's got some issues, you know, like fucking, there's games out there that are pretty awesome that are free. And they have story and they have shit to do, basically, you know, and you can craft a character if you're into that thing or whatever it is. But like, you know, but then there's like games, like I said, like Destiny 1 when it came out was a shit show.
Well, it's just about money. It's just like, they probably wanted to make it cooler, but then they had to cut budget and shit.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened with Diablo. Yeah. The devs for Diablo were like, "We need another year," and they're like, "Now you're gonna put this shit out." And you're like, okay, right. You know. And you got like, and the thing with Blizzard, man, there was hundreds of people working on that game, and none of them were talking to each other. And it's fucking blatantly obvious in the gameplay because it's so disconnected. There's so many disconnects. You're like, how did you guys not... Did you actually play your own game and actually realize... Like, 5 minutes on the horse would have told you this is a shit show. You know, like, who the fuck did this? Like, seriously. That'd be like Red Dead Redemption coming out, and every time you're riding your horse chasing after something, it crashes into some pebble on this fucking road, and you just get dead stopped. And then you have to, like, reset. And then there's a cooldown to get back.
A skateboard.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing, man? It's so dumb.
Did I play Path of Exile? I think I did. I'm looking it up right now. There's another game I'm confusing it with. Path of Exile is a little bit older one. It has the red circle on the left.
I don't remember.
It's like a Diablo.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's like a Diablo clone, and it's.
I didn't play that one. There's another one, Lost Ark.
Lost Ark, yeah.
It's I didn't like it. It looked good.
I didn't play Lost Ark. Some people really like it, but I haven't played it at all.
Yeah, I mean, Guild Wars 2 is a super shitty old game, but they still update it. They still do expansions and shit. Like you
Guild
just buy
Wars,
the,
yeah.
Yeah, it's corny graphics, but it's a great game. But their pricing model is fucking great. Like more people should do this, where it's a free game until you get to end game. Then you have to buy at least one expansion, which is like $10. And then there's no monthly fee, and you buy the expansions as you want them. There's like really not a lot of microtransactions and shit.
Right.
But the game is dope, but like I can't get anyone to play it. Like no one else thinks it's cool. So.
I used to play Guild Wars too.
Well, the fucked up thing, you remember when Diablo Immortal came out on mobile, and everybody lost their minds because it was completely riddled with predatory microtransactions and pay
800% value.
Pay to win. Yeah, it's completely pay to win. Well, so they got fucking creamed for it. Lost like everybody, like it was completely creamed. So they backpedaled all the way back out. They fucking pulled all the crap out of it and rebuilt it. And now Diablo Immortal is actually a good game, and it's fucking in some ways it's better than fucking D4. They've already
a good game now.
It's gotten a lot better. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not like a fucking huge Immortal player at all, but there's honestly more shit I think to do in Immortal in certain ways than there is in D4. D4 supposedly is the flagship today, which it's just, but again, I don't know if I'm gonna play tonight, but within the coming weekend, I'll be playing some Diablo 4 just to fucking get into this new season. It's actually dope. This season's about vampires. And I really like the lore that they've created with this one, so we'll see. But so it's dope. So you played the beta, right, Greg? Are you playing Diablo at all much?
Yeah,
Michael?
I played the beta of Diablo 4, but that was it.
Have you ever played much Diablo throughout the days? Were you into that stuff, dungeon crawling? Risco?
Never really got into it. No, I might have logged in or whatever, played it once or something, but never really.
I played a lot of Diablo 3.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. Diablo 3 is better than D4 right now, and so at least up to right now. Like, 'cause Diablo 3 was a wreck. D4, like, let me be fair. D4 launched in a much, 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 much better place than D3 did by a long shot. D3 took a good year or more to get right, at least, and then they finally did, and it's actually quite good. They're up to like season 29 or something now in fucking Diablo 3. They just started a new season. I heard it's great. I haven't played it. I have it, but I haven't played it. But anyways, with fucking D4, the new this season, so the premises right at the beginning of the season is you get bit by a vampire. And you start getting fucking vampire abilities. And apparently you can send bats out and shit, bro. Like your sorcerer can like send bats out and fuck shit up, dude. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. But I was thinking I might do a Sork build this season. But I don't know. I'm pretty torn. I might stick with Rogue. Rogue is my jam right now. But yeah, vampire. Your character gets to be a vampire for this season. So it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how cool it is. Other than that, what else games are coming out that's exciting? I was mad excited for Starfield, I'm not going to lie, and then I kind of went, I waited. I decided to wait.
I don't know. Every game I pick is shit like Star Citizen, so I'm waiting for a lot of games to come out. I haven't even gone around and
you've had Star Citizen for years though, bro.
I'll be waiting for 10 more years. I don't know. I like a lot of weird fucking shit. I got to go back and see what some of these projects I followed were doing. There's some crazy space battle game I played that there's 4 people in the world that play it. It was $30, and it's an early access. They're not going to release it for a while, but the game is dope, but no one plays it yet. It's because they haven't advertised it yet. I found it on the Steam store.
Right.
What's it called?
And I'm on their Discord with their dev team and shit. So I was really into that, and it's been 8 months and still no one plays it. They still haven't launched it.
What's the game?
Infinity Battlescape. I don't recommend anyone buy it because like I said, no one plays. It's like a beta, but it is dope. I'll play it if you buy. I own it. But
I play this game. I don't recommend getting it though.
I think we'll see some. We'll see some DLC for Starfield. That's kind of where I'm at. I would, cause remember Fallout 4, and then they added the whole New Liberty. Oh, they added a lot of DLC to fucking Fallout 4. It got so good once all the DLC was also a part of it. It was fucking insanity. It was such a good game. Like, it became such a good
Fallout
game.
4 I enjoyed right from the get-go too.
I did, but like once you had, what did they do? Like, they did like 5 expansions for it. So like it was like the Game of Year edition was massive. It was super fucking. There was a lot to do. I always enjoyed Fallout games, but fucking 76 was a shit show. I was so looking forward to 76. I thought it was gonna be awesome, and then it was just not. I was just like, ah. So I just fucking waited. That's honestly what, like I said, I got gun shy, bro. That's why I don't, to be fair, Diablo 4 was the one game that surprised the shit out of me because the betas were so good. And the gameplay is fucking really good. The gameplay is really good. The mechanics overall are really good. It just, it launched with certain things really broken, and then like the way the inventory system worked was just like, all of your diamonds and shit you pick up, they took up inventory. And it's like, and you don't have unlimited inventory. So if you want to, like, instead of just turning the diamonds into crafting materials, you had to carry them around. It's like, what the fuck? You know, like, there's a lot of dumb shit. And you can't, like, search your inventory. So if there's, like, a sword with a certain thing, an aspect that you want, you gotta sit there and dig through your fucking whole inventory to find the right one. This is a huge pain in the ass. You know, and it's like stuff like Path of Exile that's free. You can like sort it 100 different ways. You know, like and not even
that's
like
the same as like Guild Wars 2. Like you could say it's a shitty game, but it has all that stuff's fixed. Like all your crafting just goes to the bank. You don't have to carry it around. And then it's like all your characters are like linked and shit with your crafting and your character, like your bank and shit. It's like unheard of in the MMO space, and this game does it for free. Like big games do that shit because they want you to be inconvenient, so that then you will pay for fucking upgrades and shit. I mean, so some of that stuff is designed
by design, yeah.
Inconvenient, yeah.
Well, that was the big thing with D4 too. Is I think that was one of the biggest things I agreed with too. They purposely built in stuff into the game that made it cumbersome to slow you down, just to slow down your progression, because they knew there was no fucking end game. So they were doing everything they could. They kept nerfing experience and making this like harder to grind. And it was like, no, you guys are going the wrong fucking direction. They're making your character weaker, so it took you longer to go through the dungeons. You know what I mean? Because they knew there was no fucking solid like real end game activities. So they were trying to basically, and it was, I said, this is fucking Microsoft, Blizzard, Activision, because Activision is really the problem here. Like we have to actually, you know, I'll talk shit on Microsoft, but Activision's the fucking problem. They are the predatorious motherfucking predators on the motherfucking predator planet, bro. Those motherfuckers. Look at Call of Duty. It is one of the most predatory bullshit ass games in the world, bro. It's honestly, like it always has. It has been for a long time. Like it was awesome when it came out, and then it turned into microtransaction, fucking mystery box, predatory bullshit. And we're gonna sell you the same maps every year for the same amount of money every year.
Yeah,
you know,
well, it's like why games don't give you the mount or the horse right away is because
they want to slow you down.
Yeah, and they want you to say, "Oh my God, the world is so huge; it takes me 2 hours to walk across the whole thing." Well, yeah, because
you don't have a horse. Well, then the horse in Diablo was so bad it got stopped every 5 seconds, and then there was like a 20-second cooldown. So if you hopped off your horse, you couldn't just remount. You had to wait 20 seconds and wait for your horse fucking to cool down. It was like, what the fuck? And then if you came across like there was a couple orcs with a fucking barricade, you couldn't just crash through it like you would in reality with a horse, you know, like it was like fucking, you had to stop, get off the horse, break down the barricades, kill the 2 orcs, now get back on your horse and carry on. It was just like a huge pain in the ass. It's like, why can't I just bust this shit down, you know, and fucking hack them bitches on the way through and see ya? Like, you know, it's just, it was bad. It was just so bad. And then, but apparently, like I said, they fixed it, and so I'm gonna see this weekend at some point. Fucking yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. What time? Oh my god, it's almost 1. Fucking Risco, I'm so glad you stopped by tonight, dude.
Oh yeah,
me
dude,
too,
thank
man.
you for stopping by, man.
Thanks for having me.
Fucking super
Fun.
cool.
You're welcome to stop by anytime, dude.
All right. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, we need to try to. We got to actually link up. I was meaning to call you. Like I said, I've been super deep in fucking nerdlands with fucking color and video shit. And
yeah, I'm doing the same shit with AI too. I'm fucking so deep into AI. Like right now, I'm focused on getting jobs and shit. So I'm like socially not even around in most cases.
Well, that's also
you know
I'm working to get more jobs too, and like I've done all sorts of shit, like in that vein, and so it's like constant job search, or not really, gig searching, shall I say,
Yes.
and fucking writing proposals, not getting them, being annoyed.
Yep. That's been my last fucking 3 weeks, dude. Yeah.
Dude, like,
yep.
Yeah, fucking, it's tough, and especially like, as a freelancer, it's pretty tough when you're trying to build it up. But
yeah, what I realized today is that like the reason why it's so hard right now is because like I build shit that works. And it doesn't break. And then I'm out of work.
You don't have recurrent, you don't have that recurrent work.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but it's very small because, like I said, the shit I make works. It sucks. But I'm not going to make shitty stuff just because,
I've been doing
that's part of the problem. I'm not trying to say that's the only problem. It's part of it.
I've been doing research, actually. Like I said, so this is a weird little thing I'll tell you about really quick before we go. But so I discovered that certain programs on Apple, when you write certain types of video files in certain codecs, and you write the same file on Windows, that YouTube treats them differently and will re-encode them. So I don't know if you ever like uploaded a video to YouTube and all of a sudden it's dark or looks different in a way that you're like, what the fuck? Like, why is it dark? Well,
no.
I've literally correlated I found the metadata problem that's actually in the file types by using, I started like going in and like, I was actually, a buddy of mine helped me actually get going, but we were using FFmpeg to actually rip all of the pertinent fucking stream metadata, and then we sat down and analyzed all the fucking differences and figured out what it was, and it's in the way that the encoders are writing the fucking files, and when the encoders are writing the files, they embed metadata into the actual stream data, and so some of it's under the hood and you can't read it at face value with most metadata readers like an XF meta tool. And so long story short is I had Resolve opened on fucking my Mac and I had Resolve open on my PC, and I was like cutting files, the same exact shit from each one, and uploading each test to YouTube respectively, and then viewing it on the Mac and viewing it on the PC and looking for any difference between the handling. And ultimately, I found that there was a couple cases where, yes, the PC will render something with a different metadata set, and when you upload it to fucking YouTube, and the technically the PC is actually writing the correct metadata set, but the way YouTube processes stuff, that doesn't make sense. And then the Mac was omitting some of the metadata, so it was basically skipping YouTube's fucking encoding. And therefore, YouTube wouldn't re-encode it. I mean, it re-encodes it, but it doesn't actually. So YouTube applies what's called a transfer function to certain formats because it wants everything to be Gamma 2.4. And so if you send certain things up there and it recognizes that it's like Gamma 2.2, it tries to convert it and it wrecks your video. I
see.
It's crazy, bro. So I've been doing this crazy. I've been on a crazy deep dive of codec versus YouTube. Like it's pretty insane. And I've got like literally hundreds of test files and shit. But
it sounds like a quite the project.
Yeah, it's been a little nutty.
Yo.
Yeah.
What's up, Asylum?
Well, Asylum, good luck with the Western Australia State Championship this weekend. You have fucking a blast doing that shit, mate. Fucking that sounds like a blast. Fly high, we love you. Good to see you, man. Always glad you're down to nerd out on video games or whatever chaos we fucking have to talk about each week. We're really late tonight, so we're gonna get the fuck out of here. But we love you guys, and it's been a blast, and we'll see you next week. So bye.
Bye.
Y'all be good. Make some cool shit. Make some videos. Let's watch them next week. We love you guys. Be good now.
Fucking split a hat. I could do a fucking split a hat. Done a million times. I could do a fucking split a hat. You pop out, and then roll, then that is a split a fucking split a hat. I could do a fucking split a hat. You pop out, and then roll.
I mean,
Pop it. You roll.
I don't buy
and
into
then
whatever
you go
fucking
in
bullshit you're
to
saying.
the shit. Powerly, blind, powerly, I could do a fucking split a hat. Roll, then that is split a fucking split a hat. I could do a fucking split a hat. You pop out, and then roll.
I mean,
pop it.
That's pretty much the only trick that I know.
Sword of omens, give me sight beyond sight.